Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Camp Hustle One here, back with another live stream. How you guys doing tonight? Let's jump right into it. Hello, how we doing tonight, guys? Welcome back to another one. So tonight, I got a couple things lined up in terms of things that we're going to commentate about. We're actually going to be talking about a creator that I haven't spoke about in a while. He's back, starting to make videos again, and then we're going to talk about just the insufferable rise of alpha male influencers and just, I would say, their negative effect on men today. So let's jump into the first one. I'm not going to waste any time here. So the first one we're going to talk about is Mr. Homath. He had a little bit of a hiatus, but he's back. I know he was doing some live streams for a while, some live, live Q&As, and he hadn't actually made an actual edited video in a while, so this is his first one. This is an introduction to levels, so let's hear what it is. Let's make sure the sound is good on this one. Just want to make sure. Excellent. We're at 300. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. This is levels.
The answers are all right here, if you have the time to read them. Why is everyone losing their minds? Where do all these new ideologies come from? Why don't men and women get along anymore? Why has everyone lost track of right and wrong? This is a map of consciousness. It's a map of your mind. It explains why people see things differently. Don't worry, I'll make it simple. Consciousness grows in predictable levels. Many researchers have studied this. And the biggest reason everything is so weird right now is that we built a world at a high level of thinking, and we are no longer growing to meet it. What are levels of thinking? These are levels of psychological development. I use them to explain why people are the way they are. When you are born, you start at the lowest, simplest level. Every newborn baby cares about nothing but its own needs and feelings. As you grow and learn, you start putting things together. Level 2 is when you find out that other people have their own needs and feelings and you can connect with them. Level 3 is when you realize that you live in a big world full of people who are connected to each other, and you can manipulate those connections for your own goals, and it just gets more and more complex. Everyone goes through the levels at a different speed, and everyone stops at a different place. The way that each person grows through the levels depends on a bunch of different factors, just like how a plant needs sunlight and air and water and soil. It's not just one thing. In places that have all the right ingredients, the average level is about 4 or 5, with about 15% at level 6, but the average in the world is level 3 to level 4, and when you find out what that means, it can be kind of shocking. Understanding is easier when you have help. That's why this introduction to levels is brought to you by Integral Life, the sponsor of this video. Integral Life promotes integral awareness. They offer a high...
Okay, so this is going to probably be the first ad that I'm not going to skip through, because I believe I mentioned on a past live stream that Homath has a very good way, a very unique, down-to-earth way of doing ads. So here's an example, and I would like to view this for the first time with you guys.
Level perspective on everything from health to meditation to success. Integral Life will introduce you to the integral approach, the stages of development, and countless applications of the integral framework. I studied integral theory myself. It's a big part of why I'm good at explaining things. Studying integral theory can actually make you move through the levels quicker, and Integral Life can introduce you to all the best ways to do that. Integral Life offers courses, a community, and lots of tasty visuals. I know you guys like those. Integral Life invites you to sign up for a free 24-day email course to build your integral mind. You'll get introduced to the philosophy by a team of teachers connected to Ken Wilber, the creator of the Integral Framework. Sign up here or click the link in the comments. It'll help everything fall into place. This is my new levels chart. It's much easier to read than the old one. It has...
Now, I do remember the old one. The older one was like handwritten and done with, like, I think crayons and colored pencils. And it looks like he has really, either he hired somebody to do all of these graphics for him, or he's just taken the time to learn certain systems in order to get all this organized, because it looks good. It's all uniform. And it's very easy to read.
Those for the 9 levels that we know about so far, and the columns here tell you what the levels are like. Over here, it shows different ways to divide the levels up. You can divide them any way you want. You can do 100, you can do 2, you can go high and low. And I'll go into these in later videos. There are more than this. This is just to give you a sense of it. I used really simple language, no more of this stuff. I copied that from somewhere. Nobody knows what it means. This is what the level does, and this is what it wants. Levels 4 and 5 are the most popular ones in our culture. You should recognize them. People at level 4, the way that they think.
So level 5 is achieve, improve, excel, develop, advance, accumulate, build, and accomplish. And that leads to success, lifestyle, fulfillment, recognition, status, and clout, which, that is very common amongst, online influencers, people that are trying to build their brand, build their status. So, and then the level before that, conform, obey, follow rules, agree, behave, and submit. Belong, way of life, approval, unity, fit in. This seems to be more of like a common, like almost kind of like worker bee type, like a person who works just a normal job, who is possibly trying to climb the ladder, but probably is also happy at the level that they're at, and probably not trying to seek any type of higher education or anything like that. They're just happy to just belong to something and just fit in with a group.
Life is they conform and they follow rules in order to belong to a way of life and fit in. And when that way of life gets suffocating, when it's too constricting, then they start to try to improve, develop, advance, become something greater, accumulate something for themselves so they can achieve success and live a certain lifestyle, their own lifestyle that they want. You should recognize these 2 levels being really popular in the West. If you go to like a dense city area, people will still be mostly at levels 4 and 5, but there's going to be a higher percentage at 3 and 6. When I explain what they are, you'll probably recognize those 2. I'm eventually going to make a packet that's going to have like 20 of these charts. There's going to be a ton of them, but you can buy this one now at the link, and I'm going to post it for free for all of my YouTube and Patreon members in about a week.
You literally can just screen share it. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would want to buy that. I mean, it's literally information on a piece of paper that you could just wait for his hands to be off the screen and just do it. But, if you guys want to support Homath, that's fine too.
Most of the videos I make are about dating and relationships, and those are a lot easier if you understand how people think, which is my specialty. Levels are a part of this map. I created this graphic, but it's just my interpretation of the all-quadrant, all-level map, or integral theory created by Ken Wilber. They call it a map of everything, and it kind of is. It's hard to explain, but if you can perceive anything, if you can know about something, you can put it on this map. So let's say you have a dream about Saturn, then you would talk about the upper left quadrant because that's inside of your individual mind. But if you saw Saturn through a telescope, that would be the upper right quadrant because that's the thing you see in the world. So the map breaks up your mind into all the different ways it looks at things. So it's a map of everything because it's a map of everything you can know about. And if you can't know about it, how is it a thing? So the map is really complicated, but for right now, forget about everything but levels. This is the most fun part anyway. Colorful. Understanding levels is important because people think that everyone thinks the same way that they think, and that's not true, and it causes problems. I draw this a lot.
It's actually an easy way to know how people think just by the way they express themselves, their mannerisms and their vocabulary, and just the way things affect them. You can kind of see their thought process. So you can really sum up a person very quickly from not really talking to them, but just seeing how they react to certain things. And at least in my line of work, I've found it very easy to see where people are out mind wise, and it really doesn't, it's a little bit of a factor, but not always. One thing I've known is that they're very intelligent, young people, and then there are people that are kind of complacent and they're kind of middle aged, sometimes older, and they seem stuck in like this same mind frame. So it's just something I see in my everyday life.
Here's one that everybody knows about. Here's a girl having strong feelings, so her subconscious is putting her emotions into her conscious mind, and she's looking at this guy like, if I'm feeling this, he must know that I'm feeling it. But there isn't any way to do that because she hasn't told him. Here's a girl with family trauma looking at a guy who's normal and saying that having no red flags is a red flag because she thinks everyone has trauma and he's hiding it. Here's one with a girl who has something drilled in.
K5, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. How you doing, sir? Just going through this levels thing, man. This is a newer video from Homath, and he has refined his levels chart. Basically, it's a state of thinking broken into about 9 different levels, and generally most people are at like level 4, level 5, and globally most people are at like level 3. But he's basically taking us through the levels of how people view each other once they connect and everything, and then also just how we evolve through our status and interpersonal relationships with one another.
Into her head, like something like man bad, like all the girls turn on TikTok and it goes man bad, man bad, man bad, and it becomes their reality. So she has a belief that's been drilled into her head, and this guy says 4 things, and one of them looks kind of like the one that's already in her head. So she sees half of it and changes the color slightly and says, oh, I knew it. All men are the same. Why do you all always the thing I already believed, even though he didn't say that? So this is just how the mind works at a lower level. This one up here is a girl having a higher level thought for the first time. Dad is telling her to be careful of men because he knows how men are because he used to be one. And so for the first time, she is thinking about her dad's thinking about these guys thinking. She has a thought about her father's thought about the thoughts of men. So she's moving up to a high level for the first time. So basically, the lower your level of thinking, the less you can see other ways of thinking. Let me show you what I mean. If you are a human, you probably think that dog unpleasantness is a bad thing. You probably would not want to touch this. You probably don't like it that it's on the sidewalk. This is bad for you. There's nothing good about it. But if you are a fly, then you just hit the jackpot. They use this as food and they lay eggs in it, and they probably feel great about this situation. So this is not too hard to understand. I bet that nobody watching this video is struggling with this concept that this would be good for a fly who would enjoy it and bad for a human who wouldn't. But most people struggle every day to understand that other people can see the same thing differently. A really good example of this is cheating and the whole my past doesn't matter thing. If a girl ever says my past doesn't matter to you, that's coming from a low level of thinking, because you can't tell me what matters to me any more than you could tell a fly, like, hey, that's disgusting, that's bad for you. The fly has a different agenda. When a man and a woman are together, when they're pair bonded in a relationship, the man is going to be much more upset if there is...
K5 says, used to be a man. Is her dad trans? I'm joking. Oh, man. I mean, his drawings are a little crude, so yeah, I could see how... That's funny.
Physical cheating, because this could happen. He's spending all of his time and money on her, but he doesn't get the benefit, and not only that, somebody else does. But women are a lot more forgiving of just physical cheating. In fact, sometimes if you have a lot of girls, they like you even more. What women hate is when the guy she's with is giving out his investment to other women, because that means she gets less of it. Investment is things like money and time and support and emotional bonding and so on. And people fight about this every day all over the world. The men say physical cheating is worse, and the women say emotional cheating is worse. And you're just trying to tell a fly, this is bad for you. It doesn't make any sense. It's different from you. It's not going to feel how you want it to. And again, I bet that nobody watching this video struggled with the fly has different needs from the human, but If nobody struggled with the woman has different needs from the man, I wouldn't have a career. It's going great, by the way. Thank you. And the higher your level of thinking, the more you understand that people perceive differently. But even more than that, studying psychological development itself can show you how these misunderstandings happen and how to solve them. That's why I'm so good at what I do. I'm out here saving marriages. Check this out. So people at
Oh wait, hold on. I thought he was gonna read that out. That went by a little fast. Hold on.
That's why I'm so good at what I do. I'm out here saving.
I wish everyone understood that. It's funny. I've been married 17 years and have 4 boys. I initially started watching your videos to help my sons. As it turns out, you have helped my marriage. Keep doing what you're doing. Oh, that's nice.
Marriages. Check this out. So people at lower levels have trouble communicating in general, but also people at different levels have trouble communicating with each other. It's like if you've ever talked to a Bitcoin guy, he probably will talk to you like you know everything that he knows about Bitcoin, even though if you did, you wouldn't have to ask. That's like this. I know it, so everyone must know it. That's what it's like for different levels to try to communicate. And the higher you go, the less you assume that everyone knows what you know. On top of that, studying the levels can help you spot when this is happening and fix misunderstandings. I drew this little comic to illustrate. This is the guy from an old meme called Scumbag Steve. I don't know if Gen Z has Scumbag Steves, but when I was like 17, we all knew this guy. This is the guy who always causes problems and blames it on everyone else, so I illustrated how that works. Steve goes into someone else's house and starts smoking. The owner doesn't like it. He says, "Don't smoke in here." Scumbag Steve says, "It's cool, man. Don't worry about it." And then the owner says, "No, it's not cool. Put it out." And then Steve gets upset. "Chill, bro. It's just a cigarette." So in the mind of the owner, the two guys have two different ideas. You want to smoke, but I don't want you to. So when Steve does it anyway, it looks like he's saying, what I want is more important than what you want. So Steve is a bully. But Steve is at a lower level of consciousness, the no one tells me what to do level. So Steve does not know that the two guys have two different ideas. When Steve says it's cool, what he means is like, we're not at school, we're not at work, my parents aren't here, we're not going to get in trouble. This is an okay place to smoke. That's his concept of where it's okay to smoke, and the idea of somebody else having a different concept has never occurred to him. So when the owner says don't do that, Steve also feels attacked because this is an okay place to smoke, but you're giving me crap anyway, so you're the bully. When I was learning about this in school, they gave me the example of a father who gives money to his two sons. One of them is 10 and one of them is 5.
Cook Benny came back. He said, it was a client of my instructor. He asked me to tag along with him so I can get my feet wet. Nice, man. I'm glad you're getting experience as an electrician, man. And hopefully that leads to a very fruitful career, man. So I'm happy to hear for you, Cook Benny. That's awesome, dude.
To buy presents for their mother. And the 10-year-old buys her flowers and soaps, mom stuff. But the 5-year-old buys her a toy car because toy cars are cool. The idea that moms would like mom stuff rather than what is cool has never occurred to the 5-year-old, nor has it ever occurred to Steve. So some people just never grow out of these egotistical levels of thinking, and even if they do, they can slip back into this feeling that things just are a certain way, and so of course you know. That example is the difference between level 3 and level 4, which is where most people on Earth are on their best day. That explains a few things, doesn't it? That's why people at level 4 go crazy for conformity and following rules. They're showing off. They're saying, look at my ability to agree to and submit to the rules so that we're all doing the same thing and we're not in this constant chaos of nobody knowing what anyone wants. Maybe you understand this drawing a little better now. So think of how big of a difference that is in thinking, and then imagine it happening again and again and again. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. It's ambitious. I'm gonna make a long video explaining each level in detail, but this is just an introduction, it'll be quick. I'll make new illustrations too. Charts take time, okay? So level 1 I used to call Survive, I'm now calling it Desire, because that's what it feels like from the inside. We all feel this all day, every day. It's when you want something. I want a cookie. That girl is pretty. I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes. Or when you want to get away from something. If you're stuck at this level as an adult, it's bad. You're basically homeless. Even Amazon tribes connect with each other. So if you were stuck at this level, you would basically just try to get what you want all the time without responding to the wants of others. Level 2 is when you realize, oh, other people also have desire. They want things too. This leads to appease consciousness. You try to give others what they want so they'll give something back. It's common for groups at this level to try to appease gods or spirits. They feel their own desire and they say, oh, the volcano is angry. Why would I be angry? Not enough virgins. Let's give it one, see if it calms down. They're trying to connect with nature by appeasing it. Groups at this level are small and they only interact with people they know because why would I talk to someone if we're not doing things for each other? At level 3, you realize that everyone around you is appeasing each other and trading favors, and you go, uh-oh, I could fall behind if I don't figure out how to control this. How can I direct all of this appeasing towards me and put me on top? In the Mafia movie Goodfellas, they introduce each other by saying, this is Henry, he's a friend of mine, which means he works under me. He's a friend of ours means he's on our level. That is them communicating how these connections are controlled. People stuck at this level commit crime, they litter, they don't put the shopping cart back. That's what makes bad neighborhoods bad. No one follows the rules because life is about me, me, me. And nobody ever thinks about what someone else thinks. They don't do thinking about thinking. That's why people don't put the shopping cart back, because there is no such thing as other people don't want to be in a dirty parking lot. That just doesn't exist. So it's cool for me to not put it back and then do extra work for no reason. That's why they get mad when you try to make them follow the rules. When people get tired of that, they pick a leader and they write things down. This is the way things are gonna be. Not just my way because I have power. This is the way things are. We wrote it down. This is when you start understanding, oh, wait a minute, what I want could hurt others just like they hurt me, and we could fix that if we had rules. If this works, they start seeing their way as the one true way. So this way is good, and this way is just bad. We can't have different ways, we just fixed that problem. At level 4, your social group grows again, so you can be in the same group as people that you don't know. This results in large nations and cities and agriculture. You could never do that at a lower level. If you go back down to winner take all, nothing gets done. The move from 3 to 4 is also important, just like the move from 6 to 7. And the whole point of this video is that when level 6 is in power, it prevents people from moving from 3 to 4. We'll come back to that. Level 4 is very rigid. They resist new ideas, like when Galileo said the Earth is not at the center, the church went, oh, that's a different way. You can't have that because we just fixed that problem. Level 5 shows up when people have a stable way of life and they start wanting to improve and advance, which you do with achieving. Today, people at level 5 want cars and houses and money and fame. You know the drill. So at level 3, the world just is the way you see it. And at level 4, you agree on the right way. And at level 5, you go, there's no right way. They're all made up. So not only can you improve it, but also you don't have to fight with people from other ways. That's where you become a citizen of the world. You have whole world consciousness. It starts at level 5. So now you can do whatever you want in life. As long as you follow the rules, it's all up to you. You make your own way, and then you succeed or fail based on your achievements. So at level 5, people come up with their own way to achieve success. And at level 6, people start thinking, well, what is success? What am I getting out of life? What am I giving up for it? Who am I? Level 6 is where I might lose some of you. It gets very detached from what people usually do. This is a drawing for the next video, it's not done. If someone is limited to levels 3, 4, and 5, when you tell them about 6, sometimes they say, well, wait a minute, how is that higher? These people are not chasing power, they don't fit in, they're not achievers. How is this better? And that's why the levels can't communicate. Better means something different to them. It usually starts when make your own way is no longer satisfying. Remember, all of this is based on desire and how you satisfy it. All the levels are just including more and more. So it's what do I want? What do you want? What do they want? What do we want as a group? And then what do I want as a part of the group? Which part of everything do I want to be? And at level 6, you go, well, there is no one part that's going to satisfy me. There's no right way for me because I'm different here and there and yesterday and today. I like the beach, I like the snow. There's infinity ways. How do I include them all? That might feel like you don't have your feet on the ground anymore. Like, I don't know what's behind any of these doors. I don't know which one to open. I don't know which way to go. And that leads to self-discovery. You try to understand all the parts of who you are and include them in your life. And that can look very different for everyone. And that's why people don't know right and wrong anymore. Every way has to be right, or you're not including, and we're really mad about it. Some people even go out of their way to be difficult to include. So the morals are, I want to be who I want to be and not who you tell me. So we have to include everything everywhere all the time. And this is what you get when you do that. So a lot of these new ideas are coming from, believe it or not, a high level of awareness, particularly this one, but they're doing so much damage because people at lower levels don't understand them, just like Steve. So the level 6 idea of we need to include and validate everyone is being abused by a lot of people at levels 2, 3, and 4 who do not understand inclusion at all. When you say include everyone, what levels 2 and 3 here is we can do whatever we want now, there's no rules anymore. And what level 4 here is you better be inclusive or else. And then level 6 defends them even when they're doing it wrong. And that's because level 6 hates the idea of levels. They want to believe that everyone is equal. That's the big difference between 6 and 7. I have an AI tool called Level Check that asks you questions and compares your answers to the literature on development. Look at the results we got. It's a smooth bell curve with a big dip at level 6. That's exactly what you'd expect. They don't want to take the test because the idea of levels offends them. They want everyone to be on the same level. That's why when you say people have different abilities,
Like socialism for social status. Everybody's equal, and yet nobody's better than anybody else. Therefore, everybody's included. I don't know. I honestly think that we do live in a meritocracy where there are people that are smarter. They know how to adapt quicker to their situations and manipulate their situations in life in order to gain monetary value, personal happiness, and sometimes it's viewed as selfish. But I think in life you have to be a little selfish sometimes in order to better yourself. So, I mean, I know there are people that are people pleasers that, they always put other people first, and that's almost to a detriment to where they can never advance. It maybe have a little bit of fulfillment in that, but in terms of personal growth, it does kind of keep you stuck in a place where, you're caring about other people more than you care about yourself. So I don't know, at the end of the day, I think you do need to find a balance of self-fulfillment, but also your purpose in which you can give back to the world to make it better.
they say, no, we need to give them more help. And that is dysfunctional because this doesn't help people grow. It makes them feel like they don't need to. I did it myself. At the beginning of this video, I said that we built this world at a high level of thinking and we're no longer growing to meet it. And that's because the people at level 6 are usually smarter than average and they have more money and power, which means they're insulated from the consequences of their actions. They want you to deal with Steve, but they don't have to. So they want total inclusion, but they're not including anyone who doesn't want total inclusion. That's like putting the mosque next to the gay bar and saying, now you two get along. That's going to cause some damage. They don't want to get along. They have different agendas. Men and women have different agendas. You and the fly have different agendas. Every individual in the world has different agendas, and those agendas change over time. That's what these levels of awareness are about. People do not want what you want them to want. That's what the table is about. When these girls say, I am the table, what it means is, I just am the table. I just do deserve what I want. And there's no recognition of what he wants. These are girl Steves, they're Stephanies. If you make people include what they don't want, it's going to cause problems. Steve does not need inclusion. He needs to figure out that other people don't think it's cool. And if he never does, then he can't come in the house. Imagine this is you, and someone said, okay, so Steve wants to smoke, but you don't want him to. What can we do to compromise? Why do you not like smoke? Do your parents smoke? You know, you're lucky to have a house. Maybe you should make Steve feel more welcome. Does that make you feel more inclusive or less? And do you understand how that would prevent Steve from ever growing up? Well, that's what all this garbage is about. They're telling you where you belong, 'cause it's not up to you. She decided where you belong, and in some places, it's a crime to disagree. So if you are not allowed to say what doesn't belong in your life, not only is that terribly unfair to you, but then Steve never learns.
David, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How are you tonight, sir? Yeah, man, this is a very interesting video that we're partaking in. This is just talking about different levels of thinking, and it's very interesting. From what I'm taking from it is, yeah, you do encounter a lot of different people that are different levels of thinking, different, I guess, economical situations, and just, I guess, the way they perceive the world. And there are a lot of people that are just kind of out there for themselves, and they don't really give a damn about anyone else. And then there's people that are very compassionate, and people that, you know, are very, you know, about pleasing other people. And then there's people who are just nonconformists and just, but they want to be included in everything. And they don't understand people that will exclude them from just certain places. They don't understand, why can't I smoke here? Why can't I practice my religion here? Why can't I be in this neighborhood? It's very interesting. But one thing that I guess we can take from this is that, yeah, it does help to have a lot of different friends and to learn from each individual person that you come in contact with and take a little bit of their perspective and, you know, just weigh it up against your own and see, you know, what benefits your life. You know, are you helping people by helping them rediscover themselves or changing their perspective on certain things? Or is it better to just improve yourself so that you can be surrounded by people who have already reached that level or are on the uprise to reach that level? I mean, I think the more money you make, the more success you achieve. You start surrounding yourself with people that are on that level, and then you start having to let go of people that hold you back. You know, whether those are family, friends, and you know, sometimes you got to do it. You got to cut those people out in order to advance in life. But ultimately, it's what matters to you. You know, sometimes people are like, "Look, money isn't everything," because it's almost like an endless journey of trying to achieve financial freedom, because the illusion is that I just need more money, that way I can feel more security. But it's almost like the more money you get, the more money you need. You know, whereas, you know, sometimes you get very lucky. You make one product, or maybe you do like one service, or you give one thing to the world, and that makes you incredibly rich. And now, because you don't have the know-how on how to handle all this success, you just spend it. As soon as the money comes to you get rid of it. And I think financial literacy is very important to learn, and learning how to make a budget, and how to, understand that it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. It all depends on the individual, but it's just very important to educate yourself on these things. And sometimes it's better just to be self-taught. That way that you can hold yourself accountable, because there's a lot of people out here that are trying to scam. So you can't listen to everybody. For example, I do have an example. So I have a friend who his wife was talking to him about debt consolidation. And I believe they have somewhere in the neighborhood of like $25,000 in credit card debt amongst both of them. And the wife was telling the husband how she was talking about, going with this debt consolidator that would, basically lend them enough money to pay off all of their credit cards. In turn, it would close off all of their credit cards, and their credit score would plummet down to like 400, 500 range. And so the husband was like, I don't think that we should do that. I think there are other ways to do it. And she's like, and he asked her, he's like, how did you come across this debt collector? Was it like the first person you found on Google? And she said, no, this person actually contacted me, and they tried to sell me on this. And he was just like, oh, well, yeah, you definitely shouldn't go with that. Then we should definitely look into other loan lenders and other options, because if you take your first option, it's probably not your best option, especially when they seek you rather than you seeking them. You understand that there are many different programs that you can get on in terms of getting out of debt that doesn't require for you to plummet your credit score. Because as I get older, I realize how important credit is. And just, hearing this person's story, I was like, yeah, you definitely don't want to be in the 400, 500 range if you're trying to move into a house, or just trying to get anything, do anything major in life. Credit is almost more important than the amount of money you have. If you have bad credit, it's really tough to maneuver in this world. But yeah, it's just something I thought about.
And that's why people are the way they are. So even though this is a relatively high level of thinking, it's still trying to correct everyone to think the way that it does, and life just doesn't work that way. If you are at level 3, you would say, I'm going to do what I want, and everyone needs to deal with it. If you were at level 4 and you were, let's say, a Christian, you would say, everyone should be a Christian. It is the one true way, and they should follow it like me. At level 5, you would say everyone has to figure out their own way of being like me. And at level 6, they say everyone needs to embrace every way of being like me. But at level 7, you would say everyone needs to be in a place that works for them and where they work for everyone around them. There's no more me. I'm not telling anyone that they have to think like me. I would love it if people would do the work to have a thought about a thought about a thought, but if they don't, there's still a place for them somewhere, just hopefully not in Congress. I would hate for the virgin in a volcano guy to write the laws I live by. For example, this is the Maasai people. I don't think they spend that much time online, but that's okay. I don't need them to hear about integral theory. They're doing fine on their own. I have no notes for the Maasai. But also, I don't want them to move to my neighborhood and tell me, this is your life now. That's what I'm trying to communicate with words like alignment and harmony. Things have to work together the way they want to and not the way you want them to. The best example I can think of right now is Dubai. People go there from all over the world to live and work, but nobody's fighting over who owns the country. That's what the word integrate means. It means if you want something in Dubai and they want to let you, you can go there and do what you want and be who you want and be included as long as you follow the rules. And this is the part that certain people in the West don't want to do anymore. They want this one and not this one. And when you do that, everything falls back down to here. And then nobody thinks about what other people think, and you end up with a generation of deservers. So I hope that makes it clear how levels can help with interpersonal dynamics, raising children, religion, spirituality, politics, government, society, technology. And again, my channel took off really fast. This is less than 2 years, and it's because I know how to explain things because I understand them. And if more people understand them, then we can fix a lot of problems. Next time, I will go through the levels slowly, one by one, and I'll show you how they grow from one to the next.
I wonder if there is a website that HopeMath has come up with where you can actually put in, I guess, certain characteristics of your life, whether it's, your work, your amount of friends, your social status, your marital status, I guess your habits, your good habits, your bad habits, your desires, your dreams, your failures, and find out what level you're at. It's very interesting to think about. I mean, and just in terms of like looking at the chart, looking at just the different levels, and I really wouldn't know how to self actuate like what I am here. Like I know that what he was talking about, embracing other people, and not like trying to conform. Or I guess control what other people do in terms of like their religion, their thought process and stuff. Like we can all coexist, I kind of align myself with that. I think I've said it before on previous live streams that I'm fine with whatever type of life choice that you choose to do. I think we can all get along. I think as long as you don't try to impose your will or your ideals on me or anybody else, I think we can all kind of coexist, work together, and go down our own paths. Even, work together towards a similar goal. And so I definitely think that success, there's a lot of different paths to success in terms of achievement, and working together through teamwork, but also finding it within yourself to pull yourself out of a certain struggle or situation. And I think it's one of those things that if you just sit and think about what does success look like to you, what are you trying to achieve in life in order for you to feel fulfillment? I mean, is it, getting a license to have a profession? Is it, owning a mansion? Is it owning a car? Because the thing about material things is that once you own them, it's almost like that journey is over. So it's almost like the life is the journey, the journey towards attainment of things. And once you attain those things, it's like, you gotta go towards what's next. And the thing is, people are living a lot longer these days. So what happens after you acquire all of the material wealth that you're looking for? What's next for you? Is it power? Is it power over people? Is it control of something? Because I think that's kind of what falls next after you attain material wealth. I think it's being able to control and manipulate other people and motivate other people, I would think, to either be on that same level or to kind of do your bidding to kind of free up your time in a way, in a sense. The thing is, man, I think I've been in situations where I've managed other people. I've brought other people up from certain habits, mindsets, and changed their perspectives on things, and even help them in achieving their success. I think that I found fulfillment in helping other people achieve what they want, and in that sense, like I achieved something in that. So K5 says there has to be an overall level, an individual level, or at least that seems right. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I look at like just like an individual level, I do believe that I'm at an understanding level that I have achieved a lot in my life, but I do think that there is more to achieve. There's always more that you can do, and every day is just a stepping stone towards something bigger. And we're all building our lives one day at a time, brick by brick, whatever the saying goes. And it's in the people that we meet and, the things that we do that helps us inch closer and closer towards that. As long as, we have a focused goal. And, at least I can say for myself, I always work to perfect my craft in terms of, my artistic vision, whether that's working with logos, identities, any type of graphics and stuff like that. Like I'm a very visual person, so that is my focus in life of achieving, I guess, being able to visualize whatever I'm trying to do and put it out for the world to see, whether that is in film or if that's in an ad or a product. I feel like that is pretty much my path in life. I think everything that I've learned from, schooling and also from being self-taught, it's all kind of led me to this point. That might not be the same for you, but I do know that, I have picked up a lot of skills over the 30 plus jobs that I've had, and the countless hours of, staying up and teaching myself different skills. And at least in my fulfillment, I know that when I am doing something that, at least in an artistic way, I guess pulls at my creative side, it doesn't feel like work to me and it feels fulfilling, and it doesn't, and it's just, I feel like I'm in my zone. And I think ultimately I need to find a career or something that matches that to where I can do that all the time and not just part-time. Right now, I'm still in the part-time stage where I'm dabbling every once in a while, doing, side jobs and stuff that get to fulfill me in that way. And the day-to-day is just the 9 to 5. So even though I think that I have the potential to be higher in the levels and stuff, I do feel that I do fall back every once in a while back into the, I guess I would say level 4 of like, conforming to rules and just, working day in and day out and stuff, like just trying to fit in, not trying to like be the boss, but just trying to just fly under the radar so that when I have my own time, I can take that time to excel, develop, advance, stuff like that when I'm on my own time. So I would say I probably hover, I'm going to be completely honest, between like 5 and 4, probably. That's probably like my best guess, at least. So at least for myself. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else. I think that there's like 2 more minutes left in this video. Let's see what else he has to say. Oh no, there's not 2 more minutes. That's probably it. Let me, yeah, that was pretty much it for that one. The next one I wanted to show you guys, there was actually let's see, the the insufferable rise of alpha male YouTubers. This was something I wanted to talk about because this is something that is really shaping today's young men, because now everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be making like $1 million a year, and everybody wants to be successful at women and stuff. So everybody's trying to look max. Everybody's trying to like, get into crypto and try to, what are the, I guess, trying to find the blueprint to be successful. And there are a lot of fakers out there. There are a lot of people that are just trying to, snake oil salesmen that will try to sell you on certain things. And I think it's very important to know what is real and what is fake. So Insufferable Rise of Alpha Male YouTubers. Let's check this one out.
Everywhere you look on the internet, there's a random man trying to tell other men how to live life and become high value individuals. Unfortunately, almost always, these self-appointed tutors turn out to be con artists. Whether it's for pushing crypto scams or preying on the unfortunate souls that believe their message. I'm talking, of course, about the so-called alpha males or red pill influencers. Starting off with Luke Belmar. He is recently trending because of this video.
Tristan Tate pulled up a video, his favorite whiskey, Johnny Walker. What do I
This guy is the meme right here. I studied, bro. Because, I mean, he basically just went online, figured out what Tristan Tate liked to drink, which was, I think, like Johnny Walker or whatever. So when I guess he went into a liquor store, bought some Johnny Walker, and then he drank it in the war room with Tristan Tate. And he's just like, you know, it's because I studied, bro. That's one thing that I remember for this guy. I don't remember anything else, but that's it. That's basically the meme of Luke Belmar.
do at duty free? Fucking Johnny Walker. That night, sipping the fucking Johnny Walker in the war room by myself with him, chilling. Why? I studied, bro. Oh, this guy's paying attention.
So many people roasted him in the comments for being a fake alpha male. Any Reddit thread about Luke Belmar is sure to give you a taste of just how the public sees this guy.
Your favorite car, bro? The red one, the Aston Martin. Tristan thinks well, guys. Critical thinking, I fucking love it.
He isn't the first alpha male to sell a course or claim unverified millions in their account.
When was the last time you sat down with a blank piece of paper and just, like, brainstormed? Ever heard that? I got a problem at the top. Lit right out the problem. Give me a fucking 100 solutions for that problem. I don't know what to... Chill the fuck out. What is gonna happen? Relax, G.
So why does it seem like everyone is hating on Belmar? The answer is quite simple. Bro thinks he's him. One look at Luke Belmar's website will tell you just the kind of person he is. Belmar would like you to believe he has made his money through dropshipping and smart investments in crypto. Just another finance bro, working while the rest of us sleep. However, when you take a look at the people who inspired his business sense and worldview, you start to understand just how much of a crooked figure he actually is. Some of Belmar's role models are the Tate brothers and Ty Lopez, all three who have been linked to scams and selling false knowledge in the past. But wait, it gets worse. Belmar's content is all about discipline, mindset, and personal development, yet how he lives and what he preaches are night and day. For example, while Belmar says your body is a temple, that didn't stop him from being addicted to weed and mushrooms, even to the point of losing millions of dollars in trading.
I don't feel like you're the type of guy that has many bad habits.
I have skeleton.
Taking souls for free. Welcome to the stream, brother. Yo, just wanted to stop by and say hi to everybody except for Sonic, of course. Yeah, I don't know if Sonic is here yet. Definitely supposed to be having that debate. I don't know if I mentioned to him what we're going to be debating about. I'm waiting for him to make that video on me, like he said he was last week. I've been refreshing the page and checking his videos. He hasn't made his critique video on me yet. So, in terms of the debate, though, I would like to debate him on, I guess, YouTube ads if we ever get the chance. That's at least what I propose. But we shall see. We'll see what he wants to do, and hopefully he takes me up on that offer and we can have a nice little back and forth. But yeah, welcome to the stream, brother. Good to see you, man.
In my closet, brother. You know, at a point I was smoking weed. I've been sober from it. Why? Because I realized that thing was controlling my life. But I do have times where I'm disobedient to what I know I'm supposed to do, and I choose to not be obedient to those things that I've committed to myself.
Earlier this year, I went on like I was smoking cannabis too much, more than I should have. And in 1 month, I lost $3.6 million.
People on social media also seem to have caught up with Belmar's bad habits, like this Reddit thread with replies such as, "He's definitely lying and faking a lot of stuff. I can't trust anything he says anymore." On podcasts, you'll see him saying that he treats his body like a temple, never cheats, wouldn't even eat a bag of chips ever, etc. But off camera, you'll see him smoking cigars, smoking weed, and drinking booze and eating crap. But wait, there's more.
I will say he's probably smoking cigars because Andrew Tate said that the nicotine in cigars boosts testosterone. So I guess everybody just kind of believed it and went with it. So I'm pretty sure that's why he's smoking cigars. That's another reason why Myron was smoking cigars when they were in Romania, because he was just like, that was another thing. Myron didn't smoke, but he smoked with the Tates because that was something that they said that smoking cigars boosts testosterone. So, and that's trust me, bro, science right there.
According to one of Belmar's biggest critics, the Alpha Bro might not even be the grass to grace story he sold to everyone who cared to listen, with Ompaville calling him a Nepo baby.
Let's just say there are definitely some red flags, though, and some lies that exist beneath the polished exterior of the youth haircut reveal that this internet entrepreneur is, in fact, a scammer Nepo baby who takes advantage of the soft, smooth minds of young men like myself.
But why would Ompaville believe that? Well, it's simple. Luke Belmar is a fabrication. Belmar's full government name is Lucas Emmanuel Uriah Dice, and before he became Luke Belmar, he simply was Lucas Dice, or Luke Dice. However, if you look up his government name on the internet, the results do not lead back to Belmar. While it's no crime to use another name or want to be private, it does seem a little shady that someone who prides himself on wanting the truth and nothing short of that, he seemingly didn't exist prior to 2019 when he created Capital Club. Not so much as a random Facebook post or a dumb hot take on Twitter that has since aged like milk. Nothing. So Belmar just popped up out of nowhere and became a well-known guru overnight. It just doesn't sound right. But reviews from his course on Trustpilot shows that people are starting to wake up to his BS. With
Taking Souls Free came back and says, it's going to be interesting. Sorry for the interruption. I hope you have a great stream. And if he stops by, just let him know to stop tipping McDonald's workers. I will definitely mention that to him, man. I mean, those guys make enough, man. They don't need your tips. They're definitely not expecting it. And just because they talk to you, man, you shouldn't be giving them a little bit extra, man. I mean, I will definitely mention that to him. He definitely needs to stop doing that.
one commenter writing, "This is why when you Google him, it doesn't say his parents. LOL. He knows what's up. He's just hiding it. Fake gurus sell the dreams. Real gurus shut the F up and don't say nothing. All his information about his parents, he lies about it. Cry about it, CC. Also, CC is literally just an off-brand version of Discord. All BS. He is the Matrix itself. LOL. Don't buy if you don't know what you're doing." Speaking of Capital Club, it used to be a privilege to be a part of the community. Far the low price of 15 grand. Belmar welcomed new recruits into his empire when he first started. Now though, he's reduced the cost to $5.99 and then to $3.69 per year. For that much,
Damn, 15K to 369. That's quite the drop.
you get access to his exclusive club, which teaches you everything you need to succeed, apparently. Doesn't it seem like every alpha male has a course or exclusive club to sell you? Maybe that's just me. Unfortunately, such a high cost doesn't mean this glorified alpha male club is worth her time or money. To be fair to Belmar though, the popular thoughts surrounding his course that the dropshipping section is quite useful and helpful, especially as that's the business that he got started with. But for a little more money, like 1 to 1.5 ETH per year, you could be a part of an even more exclusive club within his already exclusive club called Gem Hunters. This extra membership allows you to join the VIP live sessions, private Telegram groups, real life crypto meetups, and receive monthly reports. However, as one YouTube commenter wrote, the rest of the course, besides the dropshipping one, is mostly fluff, and you can find it on the internet. And when you do find poor reviews, by God, are they a gold mine. Capital Club may have 4.7 stars on Trustpilot, but the bad reviews that call Luke fake and his course is a scam is where the real gist is. An ex-student described the free courses as being more beneficial than the paid ones, which isn't something you want to hear after giving a random YouTuber over $300 of your hard-earned money. But other students were less satisfied, especially when you throw in problems with canceling your subscription into the mix. Another dissatisfied customer compared Capital Club to a playground for teens and preteens, writing, "This club is just a bunch of teens and kids trying to act cool by claiming they make tons of money, yet all they do is get a little bit from referral links. The over 1,000 reviews are all purchased, in part by the people actually spending money on this crap. If not bought, then definitely bought it If you value your time and money, don't waste either on this scam. Luke doesn't give any advice, and he is just showboating about how he scammed a bunch of kids. He tells so many lies. I can teach a college course on how much of a fake this guy is. Please don't support a man who couldn't care whether you live in a cardboard box or a mansion. Only he would care if you lived in a mansion, cause then he could use you for his low quality YouTube videos. So is Capital Club a scam? I'll let you be the judge of that. Belmar though continues to be involved in crypto scams as of late. In 2021, for example, he was involved in an NFT project called Divine Anarchy. Interestingly, rather than following the project with his main social media account, Belmar created an anonymous Twitter account which was eventually traced back to him. Shady much? What happened next was the howler of the year. For someone claiming to be so business smart, Belmar hired a terrible developer who made a terrible mistake on the project that continued to charge people who joined the project long after minting was complete. This led to over 2 million just disappearing into thin air. Whether you call this a scam or an error is up to you, but it's not a good look for someone who is supposed to be the best thing in business since sliced bread.
Same thing with Andrew Tate and his university, Hustler University, people that were joining in that, I guess, and then ended up getting kicked out because it's all performance based. So if you aren't rising up to the standard of the people in that university, they will boot you out. And I believe, I don't even know how much it costs. You guys could probably look that up. But there were claims that people were still getting charged each month for being in the club and stuff, even after they were long booted out. And there was no recourse for them to get it taken off or whatever. They would have to like cancel their cards or whatever in order to get it done. Or there was no way to get the money back either. And the person that created the university website and stuff, it was like so basic in terms of like, I know that it was like a Discord server and stuff like that, but there was a lot of, there was easy ways to I guess, basically get into the program and hack all of the accounts, get all the information. And it was a very poorly optimized site for what I understand. And, yeah, there were a lot of people that were affected by it. And, I mean, but again, you know, you got people like Andrew Tate, who's a very smooth talker, and people, they just get entranced and they trust this guy. So I'm sure they're probably going to cover that in this video. I haven't seen this video, but in terms of what happened with Luke Belmar and, you know, people still getting charged after, you know, canceling their memberships and stuff, that's something that's very similar that happened with Andrew Tate. So, I mean, and this guy's a huge follower of them, so I'm sure he took a lot of pointers from them too. So,
and people were not happy with that. Luke Belmar says, escape the matrix. I say, escape this con alpha male. The next name on our list has even worse rep than Luke Belmar. It's none other than Wes Watson. 1 minute, Wes Watson was a convicted criminal. The next, he was a self-proclaimed guru in fitness, motivation, and business. But how does one man manage to turn his life around from crime to become a celebrated influencer? To understand, we must return to where it all began. At only 12, while other kids his age was focused on school, Watson was already a stoner. By 14 or 15, he had become a drug dealer.
I just like smoking weed. I started smoking weed at like 13 or 12. By the time I was 14 or 15, I was like, fuck this, I need to get this shit for free. So obviously the natural progression was to start slinging.
This move from user to slinger proved to be the right step for him, as he began to make lots of sales and rise up through the ranks. In no time, he was a middleman, which increased his income significantly.
Now all of us are stuck in these other cages. The crazy thing is this motherfucking day, there were some crazy skins in there, some crazy ass fools from Dago, and the motherfuckers, you know, they knew there was a white Crip. They seen him on the bus and they were ready.
While it seems like Watson had a hard life growing up, which pushed him into a life of crime, it's from this part of his story that a lot of things start to not add up. According to a commenter who claims to be a cop, Watson would have to be selling a crap load of weed to be able to make as much as he claimed he did in his teens. Another commenter who claimed to be from the same town as Watson denied knowing him, saying it would have been impossible for Watson to be unknown if he did such numbers as a teenager. This wasn't the first time people have poked holes in Watson's story or personality, and it certainly wouldn't be the last. Watson claims to have spent a decade in a California prison, but many have since pointed that out as a lie, saying he did time in Oklahoma instead, and he was in for less than 10 years. After becoming a free man again, Watson took to social media and YouTube to launch Watson Fit before slowly rebranding as a fitness and lifestyle influencer. His combination of self-help content with stories about personal growth and his time behind bars made Watson sound more human and relatable, which is what drew audiences to him in the first place. Gradually, his brand evolved to become more than just getting fit or turning your life around. He began to preach dominance, control, and being an alpha. If you're not suffering, you're weak. If you're not grinding 24/7, you're soft. And if you even think about showing emotion, well, congratulations, you already lost.
That there's men out there that can't get up. You can't get up, motherfucker. What the fuck can you do then? What type of selfish bitch are you in your mind?
But Watson doesn't just preach self-discipline. Oh no, if you've been unfortunate to see any of his videos, you know his gospel is hard, extreme, and almost military-like. And then there's the delivery. Yelling, cursing, barking orders like he's running a boot camp for lost souls. Some say it's tough love. Others say it's just an over-the-top aggression wrapped in motivational buzzwords. I agree with the second. Watson is just another red pill loser with a harder edge and louder voice. He talks a big game about maintaining control and not letting irrelevant things define you. That's rich coming from the big, swole man who can't handle being sharp. Not to mention that all his discipline flew out the window when he and 3 others ganged up on a gym goer earlier this year. While one could make the argument that the gym goer asked for it, since it seemed like both sides had beef prior to the meet, not many are left defending Watson after he claimed self-defense when the footage of the incident showed him and his friends beating the victim with gym equipment.
Now take a look. You see the monster lunge forward. I can't tell if he's going after Wes or if he's being pushed from this footage, but you can see the hassle with the dumbbell in his hand, with his arm around his back, and then Wes is pulling his ponytail. And then we have another one of the goons throwing a kick to his face and then holding him down with his other hand. And then the biggest pussy of them all, this fat pig, he throws a kick to make it look like he did something, the piece of shit.
For context, this incident happened at Watson's gym, but it wasn't random. Apparently, the disciplined alpha male had the brilliant idea to challenge people to come and fight him. According to Johnny Bravo Films, their only mistake was thinking that Watson was gonna fight them alone or fairly.
He challenged people, them thinking it's a one-on-one. They go, and it's not a one-on-one. It's weapons. It's his goon little fuckers next to him, all beating down this guy brutally. Then after he's done, he beats him again, almost killing the guy.
Watson got slapped with 5K in bail charges for aggravated assault and was warned not to go within 500 feet of the victim.
The victim suffered a face fracture, concussion, and 2 black eyes, but it looks like you have a very valid legal argument, Mr. Gottlieb.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would ask for an ROR.
Well, your order to stay away from the alleged victim, no contact with the victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing, by telephone, or through third parties, and you must stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's home, school, and place of employment at all times. Do you understand the stay away from, sir?
Yeah.
All right. So I understand he went to the gym. He punched him, and then he used a weight. He used a weight belt.
Correct.
So it aggravated. There's probable cause for, I guess, the felony. You want me to split them both, 2,500 each? I'm not giving an ROR.
I understand, Judge. 5,000 is acceptable. Thank you.
$2,500 bond count 1, $2,500 bond count 2. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too. Mr. Watson, I'll take care of that. Thank you.
This incident wasn't the first time Watson turned out to be a rage monster with no thought behind his eyes. In fact, on a Fresh and Fit Live podcast, Watson went off on Andrew Wilson for having a different
This classic clip, who could forget?
worldview, calling Wilson a bag of trash several times and less than a man for not being ripped. It might interest you to know that this was supposed to be a panel of people discussing what success meant to them. Watson spewed his unusual nonsense of money and being ripped as a definition of success, while Wilson believed family was his yardstick for measuring success.
My definition of success is across the board. If you're not ripped, if you're not rich, if you ain't rare, if you don't stand out, if you ain't across the board successful, it doesn't mean fucking shit to me.
Somehow, this rubbed Watson off the wrong way, and he went on trying to belittle Wilson, calling him names and threatening to smack him. Thankfully, Wilson stood his ground regardless.
Do you have money? Does he have money?
No.
Do you have money?
No, I don't have.
How much money do you have?
I don't
Does he
have money. But here's the thing. Why is money valuable?
Do you have money?
What is money valuable for?
Look at your goddamn self.
Okay,
I've never seen such a pathetic motherfucker.
Okay, well,
let's chill out a little bit, man. A little bit.
If being a rotted out hunk wasn't bad enough, Watson has also been involved in some scummy dealings. One internet user who tried to sign up for Watson's business coaching took to Reddit to share he was almost defrauded. Comments under the post shared sentiments that Watson had in fact changed and had allowed wealth and fame to get to his head. One commenter wrote, "I like his original content, but ever since he started doing his mansion videos and rapper lifestyle private jets and big sports cars, I immediately could feel the vibe shift. This was a man talking about the benefits of a mind free from wants, while he clearly needed the validation from material goods to show the world that he was enough. Like the Lord says, what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his own soul?" Basically, I felt like I was listening to a schemer and have stopped. Another added, his ex-wife Valerie made a comment about this when they broke up. She said something along the lines of, "You think it's Wes talking to you and helping you, and it's not, it's me. He doesn't do At first, I thought she was just being spiteful and lying, but after reading your post, I'm not so sure. Very interesting and unfortunate. I'm sorry this happened to you." Meaning that even when Watson was humble and relatable, he wasn't being entirely original, and was instead following a script created by his ex-wife. But if you think Wes Watson is worse, you should see the next figure on this list, who had even a better past than him. Meet Marlon Gaines. Marlon Gaines is one of the
Myron Gaines.
The two faces behind the Fresh and Fit podcast. He is a former special agent who served in the Department of Homeland Security before quitting active service to take on social media through content creation and podcasting. After starting the Fresh and Fit podcast alongside Fresh, Gaines became one of the most controversial figures in the influential space for his hot takes on women, finance, and dating. He is as red pill as they come. During the pandemic, the podcast blew up on TikTok after Gaines ranted on the mic about how men should treat women. He said, when a girl tells you, "Hey, let's rain check or reschedule," you should simply respond, "Hey, that's cool, but I'm not really a fan of flaky girls." And how did he come to this very same conclusion, you ask, dear viewer? It's quite simple. According to the man, if you take her on a date after she did some BS like that, she's gonna think it's okay. Don't reinforce bad behavior with positive treatment. To say the video blew up would be the understatement of the year. Their TikTok account had a little over 50,000 followers at the time. So when Gaines' little rant went viral, it tore social media users into two groups. One side agreed with Gaines and the other thought he was another delusional alpha male. Whichever side you stood didn't matter though, because TikTok would ban their account soon afterwards due to the backlash that followed. That was a breath of fresh air for many people, women especially, who were starting to take note of Gaines' negative content on TikTok, especially with his dumb videos like never be vulnerable to your girl and how to date multiple girls at the same time.
Women are not built to handle masculine problems. Being vulnerable with a woman is some of the worst advice that modern day women give to men, because if I sit there and I cry to you, "Oh my God, my life is hard, blah, 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 blah," you might sit there and console me for a bit, but deep down you're like, "You fucking bitch." And you're gonna go and find someone.
So not true. I know.
After the TikTok was taken down, one user took to Twitter to write, "Absolutely clueless. If you want to know what we want, maybe just ask and we would tell you. Just follow some girls on Twitter." Another followed it with, his whole thing yells, "I'm a desperate single guy with absolutely no luck and will literally do anything to hook up with a woman, even if that means treating them like an animal vibe. Pathetic." If having strong opinions about women was a drug, Gaines was definitely slinging. He'd go on to slander an entire race of women, stating on the podcast that he did not date ghetto black women and Shaniquas, a statement that his co-host also agreed to. Gaines shared this profound knowledge with the world when the conversation about BLK, the dating app for black singles, came up. He said, "It's funny, I never used that one. I mean, hey bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it. Me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Being night riders. Sometimes, if they're red bone, but I mean in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I mean." Both men tried to dodge a backlash and you would come by saying it was just a preference, that they don't have to date black women. Unfortunately, that did little to help, considering that Gaines is well known for making horrible comments about African Americans, like when he and Fresh invited Nick Fuentes, a well-known white supremacist, onto their podcast.
I wonder if this guy's butchering everybody's name on purpose. He's like Marvin Gaines, Nick Fuentes. I don't know. It might just be something he's doing on purpose. But in terms of like Myron and his racism, yeah, I think his racism was always there because he's always surrounded himself with like white guys. You know, that was his whole college days. And, you know, now that he is running his podcast, yeah, he has his black crew around him and stuff. And I guess he uses that as like a shield for him to be like, yeah, see, I work and employ with black people, so I'm not racist. You know, like how can I be racist, whatever? But it's like, no, you're still pretty racist, bro. It's like because you get away with saying a lot of stuff that, you know, these guys, they don't really feel the racism because, you know, they don't have to deal with that whole experience of being black, whatever. Because I mean, Fresh right there. Fresh is from freaking Barbados. You know, he's not really. He doesn't know anything about the whole black experience, whatever. He grew up fucking picking coconuts his whole life.
And encourage him to say the N-word.
How she refer to blacks then? How she refer
you don't want to hear my second choice.
Oh yeah,
Come on, man. I want you to
say it. For real. I want to hear it. What you got?
You want me to say it?
Yes. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right.
In another episode of the podcast that ended up in an elevator fight, Gaines got into a shouting match with a guest, whom he called the N-word.
Get the out of here. Get the out of here. Screenshots of me. She's ugly. You know what? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to tell you that you're ugly. You look
your mom does. And everything you're saying now helping me is you that fucking on.
You smell like onions. You smell like onions.
I declare not to do that. The show is going to be in the fucking dick. Just like you and your
Do it.
Not to mention that when the podcast was...
God, I wish they would juxtapose like that podcast with that girl to the white girls that came on afterwards. The girl that dated... what was his name? DJ Academics. The one that DJ Academics was like obsessed with. The porn star, basically. Remember, she came on with another white girl. They were giving Myron all types of problems, but he was just being very patient with them. He was like, come on, guys, come on. Like, he was being very, very, very fucking, like, forgiving to them. And that was literally the episode after that one with that black girl where he got all up in her face. It's just like, yeah, man, like, if you're white, Myron will give you so many chances. But if you're black, dude, he has no patience, no time for you.
Was criticized by commentary duo ABA and Preach. Martin and
ABA and Preach? What the fuck?
Fresh made the controversy.
I'm starting to believe that this is voiced by AI. Like, even though the voice sounds like a real person, it's like he's reading it like AI.
Special choice of making a video calling ABA and Preach monkeys, with Marin performing as one.
Yo, Preach is like a. It looks like a monkey. You should see him build momentum. What the. Yo, every time this thing, I got a problem with you. Imagine them. Yo, nigga looks like a monkey. Preacher's over there looking like Magilla Gorilla and Donkey Kong having a baby. Preach like uses his head. Look
Thankfully, TikTok wasn't the only platform to have had enough of Marin's rubbish. In 2023, Fresh and Fit revealed to their followers they have been locked out of their YouTube partner program. That meant they could no longer make money from their content. Ironically, both Marin and Fresh are clueless about why they got banned. Marin even added that the location they have used for filming the podcast didn't want them using the property anymore. I love doing this. I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I love doing this. I left a job that I truly love to do this. Marin said while tearing up before adding, I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children right was great, but saving you guys is better.
And guys, we the channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Just keep it straight with
If you
y'all.
look right now, you can't even super chat or
You can't even super chat right now.
So this is the beginning of the end of this era.
So we aren't trolling chat. So
yeah. So you literally can't. Yeah, man. So it's so basically
at this point
we don't
you
know what can happen with YouTube.
Yeah, we don't
it's
know.
really out of our hands.
Yeah.
And even where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here. Saving children, right? That was
Cook Benny says Marin Gayness. Marin Gayness. Yeah, it's funny, man, the way this guy is messing up everybody's names. Like he's done the whole thing. And ABA and Preach, that's a new one. I've never heard that one. That's kind of wild.
It's great, but saving you guys is better.
How poetic. Anyway, before you get all soft for them, remember, this is the same guy who wrote a book in 2023 titled Why Women Deserve Less. Some of his profound wisdom in this book included: the relationship between most men and women throughout all of history has been transactional. It has been prostitution. All men are Johns, all women are whores. If you believe Gaines is a high value individual with anything to preach but hate, you might want to rethink your worldview. Next up is another alpha male figure who also does dating and motivational content. It's none other than FitX Fearless. FitX Fearless is a YouTuber who advises his followers on staying fit and maintaining relationships. Since opening his YouTube channel, he has grown to more than 600,000 subscribers. Like other gurus, Fearless carries himself as a men's coach, so his teachings mostly revolve around men being independent.
Imagine if FitX Fearless and Myron started a podcast instead of Fresh. Like just that look alone, I think it would probably be a little bit better, but I don't know. Their personalities would probably clash because FitX Fearless has kind of, I don't think he has a little bit of the assertiveness that Myron has. I don't know if he could play second fiddle to Myron. I have seen some of his stuff, and I mean he has kind of like the same type of know-it-all type of attitude that Myron has. So I don't know if it would work, but if he was able to, kind of not outshine Myron or whatever, but still offer his take on things, I think that would probably be a better podcast than just how Fresh would be able to contribute, because I mean, just from looks alone, Fresh is just the antithesis of someone who is fresh and fit.
And being dominant alpha males.
I cannot tell you guys how many times women have called me cocky. Women call me cocky. Women think I'm arrogant. Women think I'm full of myself, but they keep being interested in me. They are very, very curious about me. He must think he's all that. When have women ever come up to a nice guy and say, "Oh, you seem like you're so nice. You seem like a nice boyfriend"? No, they stay away from nice guys. When you discuss them, every fluid in their body dries up when they
Cook Betty came back. He said, "I'm sure they'd call themselves Unplugged and Fearless since they both have fit in their names." Yeah, it'd be redundant to have fit and fit, but yeah, Unplugged and Fearless, that could work. But yeah, I just don't think Fresh doesn't have it, man. This whole thing, oh, I network, whatever. It's that's getting old, man. It's really, what do you do? What do you contribute to the podcast that anyone else could do? Anybody else could do a better job than him.
pass a nice guy who's timid and shy. But when I come around, "Oh, you're so arrogant, you're so full of yourself." Next thing you know, she's in my bed. I'm like, damn, I guess being cocky and entitled, maybe that's the way to go, right? These girls are very, very much entitled. Why aren't you that way?
Like Wes Watson, he also has a fitness program called Fearless One, in which he teaches weak beta men to become high value men and how to unlock success in fitness, business, friendships, and relationships. The irony of FitX Fearless' entire business is that it wouldn't exist without the beta men he looks down upon. 1 minute, he's preaching independence, yet he wants these weak men to depend on his guidance.
A bunch of you guys watching this video now, if I go to your Instagram, you're following a bunch of girls who don't even know you exist. Why are you following girls who don't follow you back? Why are you doing that? And you claim you're alpha. You're following girls that don't even follow you back. You look pathetic.
Worse still, there's no proof that his alpha transformation methods actually work. In fact, his very brand depends on other people being insecure enough to buy into whatever BS he's selling. And then there's the performance. In many ways, he takes a page out of Wes Watson's books. He's aggressive and
That wasn't Wes Watson's book.
in your face.
That was Marvin Gaye's books.
Like that's supposed to make his content more believable or genuine. Because nothing screams strength like another man screaming into a camera. Proper alpha male behavior, right? Thankfully, not everyone seems to believe his approach, like one of his followers who clapped back, saying he paid for advice, not a humiliation ritual.
You don't have a job. You're not even in college. You're fat. You play video games.
And you are 5'3", my nigga.
Nigga, what the fuck did you just say to me?
I'm just saying, my nigga, you talking all that shit about me to entertain your fans while everything you mentioned is something I can change. When you stuck at that height forever, dog.
You realize?
God damn. That was fucking great. Holy shit.
You paid me to try and help you. So why are you acting like a bitch now that I'm telling you the truth?
Nigga, I paid for some advice, not for a fucking humiliation ritual.
When he's not taking after the ex-con, Fit X Fearless follows after the fresh and fit guys, even writing a controversial book like Games titled Cracking the Dating Code, a solution for the frustrated man. He also is of the idea that men shouldn't be as open with their emotions, just as Gaines said, with the fitness influencer saying in an interview that men should never say I love you first.
What are the top 5 things a man should never say to a woman?
I love you first.
What, I love you? Why is that a problem?
Not saying I love you specifically, but saying I love you before her. Women, as much as they try to not admit this, they want a man that they are chasing. So when you're telling her you love her first, you're not giving her the thrill of basically getting you to be with her.
He also has videos like how to properly ghost women.
Guys, you always want to do it in a subtle way. You never want to just block the girl or stop responding to her text because you don't want a girl to be vindictive and accuse you of something that you didn't do. So if you got a girl you don't want to see again, this is what you got to do. After, you guys, do the do, and you like, I don't even want to see this girl again, tell her to text you when she gets home. And you're going to respond when she tells you she's home. And then from then moving forward, when she asks to see you, you're going to be busy until she gets the point. That's how you probably ghost women.
Fearless also doesn't think you should put all your eggs in one basket and date women. He wants you to keep your options open, always.
Always be keeping your options open. If you don't keep your options open, if you fall in love, if you decide you're gonna stop dating other women, if you decide you're gonna stop making yourself a catch, you lose.
All of this is ironic, coming from the guy who made a video about being rejected by 100 women.
Excuse me.
Until 11 p.m.
Ladies.
Hold on, it's a lot going on.
Oh, no worries.
And if you needed more proof that he isn't in touch with reality, he made the bold move of telling the world about 3 signs that shows you're a real man.
Here are 3 signs that no one thinks you're a real man. Number 1, you make less than $50K a month. Listen to me, bro. Life starts at $50K a month. You can work a job and be learning skills to be able to give you that income so you can have more financial freedom. Number 2, you don't have a 6-pack. You look at your stomach, you see a blob. Gotta fix your body if you want to be considered a real man. Number 3, you've never gotten in a physical altercation. I'm not asking you to be a Billy, but if you are a man that has never been in a position where you have to defend yourself and you didn't actually defend yourself, you're not a real man.
The first is earning more than $50K a month, then comes having a 6-pack, and finally, having been in a fight. It's silly ideas like this that make alpha males look like losers. I don't see that changing anytime soon. So what do you think? Do you qualify to be a man by Fit X Fearless's evaluation? And finally, the face of the red pill movement itself, Andrew Tate. Before Tate found fame as an influencer, he talked down on women and called men with different worldviews weak. He was a martial artist. In fact, it was through kickboxing that he first became popular. Then he appeared on reality shows and cemented himself into pop culture from that moment onward. Tate, like every other person we covered before him, believes men should be dominant, in control, and detached from their feelings. He preaches for men to reclaim their power and status, not because he wants to see them do better, but because he thinks men are superior to women and should not be weak.
Weak men. This is what's scariest about this entire agenda they're trying to purport, because their ideas, like the feminist idea and like the mainstream idea and like Logan Paul's ideas, all their ideals is if we weaken men, then if they become weak enough, they'll no longer be a threat.
But unfortunately, while this type of message is very dangerous, Tate has managed to draw a lot of followers, especially among young men, still trying to figure out who they are in a culture that is constantly changing. His audience also feel like they have been cast aside and meant to feel inferior by society. That's a dangerous thing to believe in when the people pushing out that message also promise wealth, success, and the love and respect of women, because it creates a group of men with a toxic view of the world. What makes Andrew Tate even more dangerous for these men who believe in him is that he actively exploits them. Isn't it ironic that the same guy who wants you to be strong, detached from women, and very successful made a huge fortune from scamming men?
And me and my brother would do all the talking. The girls were just pure, just famoosers.
People just, I don't know how people forget this, that's how he made his money, was typing for all the webcam girls, basically getting the money from these guys, whatever, they were desperate just to have a connection with women. Tate basically took on that persona of a woman, a thought online. And that's how he made his millions. And then he turned around and double dipped and tried to say that he could help the men, you know, deny these thoughts and, you know, just focus on themselves and stuff like that. After the whole rise of OnlyFans and everybody was making, you know, the crazy money and stuff like that, his old ways of making money wasn't viable anymore. So he had to turn around and help the men. And yeah, it's crazy how people, they don't see it both ways, that, you know, it's just, in his way, in his terms, it's a famoose on top of a famoose. It's 2 levels deep. Cave High says, I'm still listening, but I'm about to, okay, you're about to get in the shower. All right, man. Heard that. This is definitely a, I'd say that this video about all of these different influencers and stuff, it's a great little compilation of, yeah, I mean, you understand that if you can cherry pick some of these ideas, but you don't want to take all of them. You know, this whole thing about, you know, focusing on your health. Yes, I definitely take that advice. You know, there are some things that are a little extreme, and like this whole, I mean, whether you want to invest in crypto or give your money to an ex-con, you know, or believe that, you know, if you don't have a 6-pack and making 50K a month or whatever, you're not a real man. It's just like, I don't know, man. I think we can all be real men in our own ways, man. And it's not just, you know, one dimension, like, you know, these guys see it. It's just their perspective. And a lot of these guys, along, you know, with a lot of the pickup artists of late, you know, they don't have legacies. They don't have families or anything like that. They end up alone because they are just in this constant loop of keeping their options open and not forming successful relationships. You know, like they use, abuse, and dispose of people, and they just keep going, and it's an empty life, man. It's like, if that's what you want your life to, you know, amount up to, you know, I mean, I hope you find some fulfillment in that, but honestly, I think it's very low level, and it's one of those, I guess, pleasures in life that it doesn't really lead to anything fulfilling, you know. It doesn't lead to any purpose, and I think that's kind of like the core tenet of a man, is finding his purpose in the world. And scamming people, I think is just it's an empty purpose, which, you know, a lot of these guys have traits of.
Just laughing and doing this, and they were talking to ice cold hustlers.
We were taking their money, all of it.
Used to have a webcam business. A lot of people might say, well, you were scamming people.
I sit here, I do not think I've made any mistakes. Every single action I've taken has led me here, and I'm very happy with where I am. As for scamming people, I think the industry as a whole is a scam, but I was not scamming people any more than anyone else involved in the industry. I personally think the industry is a scam.
Tate ran a webcam business with models who entered relationships with random men and sold them sob stories to get money. Tate himself agreed that the entire business was a scam used to rob men. So how can he claim to be interested in your well-being? Also, it isn't funny that the man who believes he's more successful than you and should therefore have more women by his own logic got caught in legal hot water in 2023 for human trafficking and leading an organized crime group. And just because they are walking around freely now doesn't mean they have been freed. The trial is still ongoing, and both Andrew and Tristan could still stand trial and potentially get time behind bars if found guilty. So tell me, is this the role model you think he is? And while Andrew Tate would have you believe his days of scamming men are behind him, that couldn't be more untrue. Tate remains very active in the crypto space, even launching a meme coin.
Daddy coin, who could forget? This was one of the biggest rug pulls here. He's probably going to go into it.
Coin called Daddy, which he heavily markets on social media.
Andrew Tate is in the process of trying to do a pump and dump with his fans using his new crypto scam coin. Don't believe me because you think that Andrew Tate would never do anything wrong? Okay, don't. Take a moment and just listen to the man himself.
We're building a revolution here. We're fixing the crypto space once and for all. And to do that, I need to find the soldier. I let the coin go down to try and get the cheats out. Then I made one Telegram message and it blew up again. But I have a feeling there's still cheats amongst us. You need to make a choice. If you're a just sell and leave. Don't make me do something drastic and dump it to get rid of you. This is going to $1 billion. So you're either in for the ride. If you're a we don't want you on the team.
Like most meme coins, which turned into a pump and dump scheme, Daddy came into the focus of one of the biggest investigative journalists on YouTube, CoffeeZilla. While Tate used to be a fan of the journalist for exposing the scams of the influencers like Logan Paul and others, the minute CoffeeZilla tried to expose him, Tate went on the fence and leaked CoffeeZilla's email address.
One recent hit video came out by a guy called CoffeeZilla, who I actually kind of respected and thought had a brain, but whatever. I want to debate him. I want to talk to that guy. But he was like, I joined and there's people in there and it said it was going to make me rich, but there's people bragging about making $2,000. If you pay $49 to join something and you make $2,000, that's a good investment. So why is that? Why would you make a hit piece saying Tate takes $50 and teaches people how to make $2,000? He's a scammer.
Tate then asked his followers to send abusive messages to the journalist and call him gay rather than addressing the issue that CoffeeZilla brought up. The journalist didn't trade words and instead asked Tate to respond to the questions he asked.
Andrew Tate is a grifter, alleged human trafficker, and unfortunately, and this is true, a CoffeeZilla fan.
CoffeeZilla, who I actually kind of respected and thought had a brain.
That is until I investigated him. Now he's having a meltdown and doesn't like me anymore.
This is my statement to you, CoffeeZilla. You're a nobody's scared of your investigation. I don't give a about your video. I don't respect your journalism.
Ah, yes. The normal reaction for people who don't care. Melting down on Twitter about how not worried you are.
This all started when Tate tweeted an email he received from CoffeeZilla, who was asking why the Red Pill Bro was suddenly interested in crypto, especially after saying for years that he didn't need to scam his fans to make money. As comedian Cash Singh said, CoffeeZilla had Tate dead to rights with his findings.
CoffeeZilla going at... So I think 5-6 days ago, it just starts going off on CoffeeZilla. He shows an email. CoffeeZilla says, hey, I'm doing an investigation on you and your relationship with crypto. Would you mind answering these questions for me? And it's fairly clear from the questions that CoffeeZilla got him dead to rights. So he's not very happy about it. And the reason he's questioning him is he's always been very anti coin in particular. Coins, he's adamantly opposed to it. I'll never do it. I don't need to rob my fans. Then all of a sudden he just starts saying like, you know what the problem was with these coins? It's never done right. I'm gonna change crypto. I'm gonna make sure it's done correctly. And then he starts advertising this coin called Roost. He's doing like ads for it. There's flyers all over the place. All of a sudden he's putting it in his live streams. And sure enough, everything that he said was gonna change about crypto does not change with Roost. It goes up and then drops by 90%. The wallet that all the money is being held in gets hacked. And the guy who was holding the Roost coin wallet was anonymous. So everything that he said he didn't like about crypto and he was going to change. Immediately.
So it got hacked.
Yeah.
In other words, they may or may not have rug pulled.
Tate didn't like that, especially as he started to push a coin called Roost to his followers. While Tate promised everyone that this project would be different, it ended up being the same BS like every other coin before it. But that's not the only time Tate lied. In fact, he said he was never going to launch a coin.
Are you going to launch your own crypto?
No, I'm never gonna launch a crypto. I just like to with crypto Twitter. Because crypto Twitter are full of the biggest degenerate losers on the planet. They're losers. Crypto is the only scenario I can think of where you can make a whole bunch of money while benefiting society zero.
Yet, here we are. He further covered his tracks.
I mean, does that make him a hypocrite for saying that? You know, for after partaking in creating 2 crypto coins? I would say so.
Tate pushed his meme coin into his course, known as Hustlers University, which you can join for the sweet price of $49.99 per month. So Andrew Tate can teach you how to be a high-value individual.
So when I tell people don't go to university, you haven't got that time to waste. They say to me, well, what do I do instead? And this is the answer. What you do instead is join my university program. I'm going to teach you everything from start to finish. Everything I've ever learned about business. I've run so many companies, from making money as a professional fighter is running a company, webcam girls is running a company, selling clothing, professional sales and other jobs, television advertising, you name it, I've made money that way. And there are some business secrets which are universal across every single method. I have 100 business tips I'm going to teach you, which will allow you to make your own money instantly. Forget studying. You can either go to university and look at books and study and be a geek, or you can learn how to make some money, because they don't teach you that in university. They don't teach you how to make money. Have you ever seen a college professor with an S63 and a McLaren and a Lambo and an Aston Martin standing next to a Porsche?
But unfortunately, like his mentee, Luke Belmar, Tate's course is also a flaming pile of doo-doo. In fact, Tate pushes his affiliate marketing program more than he does anything else in the course, which has turned the whole program into a pyramid scheme. CoffeeZilla even made a video exposing Tate's Hustlers University for the scam that it is. The only people who seem to be making money from Hustlers University were those who managed to trick others into joining the course. Hardly any genuine learning is going on, and students are getting the bare minimum information that can be found anywhere on the internet. But don't take my word for it. Here's a review of the course by an ex-student. I was a member of Andrew Tate's Hustle University for nearly 6 months. During that time, I found the platform to be more focused on basic educational videos rather than providing clear step-by-step guidance. The website was complicated to navigate and communication was poor. I rarely received response to my messages. Despite paying $49 per month, around $300 total, I didn't make any money or gain valuable insights. Much of the content was outdated and US focused, and you can often find similar or better information for free on YouTube. In my opinion, the course is not worth the price, and there is no refunds. Be cautious. There is no quick way to get rich, and many of these programs profit by selling hope to those struggling financially. I've canceled my subscription and moved on. The poor reviews continue, with another adding, use it for 1 year. Use it as much as I could, and I assure you, it's a scam. The professors are mid, most lessons are trash, the support team is horrible, and it's really a scam. If you support Tate, like I used to do for a long time, do research and think again. Due to the bad PR that came with students speaking up and his crypto connections, Tate eventually rebranded his course to Hustlers University 2.0 and then finally to the real world. Yet everything remains the same. The only thing different is the name. In fact, the problems with the course continued until Google removed the app from the Play Store. So I ask again, is this your hero? So let me know in the comments, what do you think of these alpha male YouTubers? Do you think they are helpful or a menace to society?
That's pretty interesting video in terms of like detailing all of the different scams, multi-level marketing, and, pretty much, preying upon people that are desperate and, just quick to spend their money on just the hope of being successful when, really there is no shortcuts in life. Whatever path you choose in life, you need to have you need to put in the time, you need to acquire the knowledge and the skills in order to, produce. And with these guys, the promise is quick money over over, you know, short periods of time. And I think that's what everybody wants. Everybody sees the end result and they're like, yeah, I want to be on the jets, and I want to have, you know, the yachts and the cars and all that stuff. And it's like, dude, it's all a facade. A lot of this stuff is just a facade, you know? Let's see. I think I have two more that I want to talk about. This one was this one's a little bit older. It's Alpha Males Have Lost It. This is by Mr. Oomphaville. He was actually featured in that video that we just watched, whatever, but I thought this was a good one to go over. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit older. It's probably about a year old, but I found it very funny, and I'm featured in it for like a very brief second. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. A little bit lighter, not as serious.
That was me the other day when I found out I was a misogynist, an ableist, and a fatphobe. Still not a racist yet. Not that I ever obviously will be, but these are the reports that I'm getting, and it means my time has come on the internet, and I will seize the king, the throne of the red pill movement, and I will... I'll have sex with it. Alpha males, online, I love them.
When you're at least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the fuck up and do it.
What I really like about the red pill movement is that it's like 90% of fucking facade, and it's really funny, and it's some of the best content online, inarguably. These guys, these men, these alpha males.
19 seconds, I would have thought I had it too, brother. I would have thought I had it too, brother.
Some of them, not all of them, are just characters that are so clearly grifting, playing the game, and it's fine. I like it. I don't hate the player, I hate the game.
Question for you. What type of men are you attracted to?
Not a lot of men.
So you're picky?
How
I'm
can
very
you say
picky.
that?
What do you mean?
You're fucking chopped. Like, I'm just being honest.
And I don't even hate the game. I quite literally play the game as well. Today, we're going to be talking about the prominent alpha male movement, and specifically two guys within that movement that are so based and red-pilled. It's an Icarian journey to the center of the sun of logic and rationality. Male logic and male rationality.
Women look for a leader, and when you're sitting there arguing with her and yelling at her, what you've effectively done is you're saying to her, I'm equal to you, so I will go ahead and yell with you. And it's like, no, that's not how this goes. And that's a big reason why I think I agree with you. Men shouldn't live with women.
And one of them got too close and burnt himself, or something like that. Fresh and Fit are two pretty solid, old school, red pill guys. They hate gold diggers and OnlyFans women who are in the trade of sex work.
All women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. What do I mean by this?
The Fresh and Fit podcast involves two dudes, Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks. Fit and fresh. I say fit and fresh because that makes way more fucking sense than fresh and fit. All right. These guys have the quintessential alpha male rap sheet. Myron, for example, wrote a book called Why Women Deserve Less. That is awesome. I cannot believe that's a real book.
Why do women deserve less?
Well, we live in a world nowadays where chivalry is punished, and I've always said, you know, Dave Chappelle famously said chivalry is dead and women killed it. And the thing is that women have to earn chivalry nowadays versus just expecting it, because women are not equal to men, and chivalry in itself practices inequality.
That is incredible. I love this. I will not be buying it, to be honest, because it's a $17 pamphlet. I think a book has to be more pages than 80 to be considered a book. So this epic fucking journey began with Fit at first. He was establishing himself as a brand. He was putting in the work to show off workouts, eating healthy, becoming the best version of yourself, all completely non-ironically based in red-pilled things to do. Genuinely, like that's awesome. However, it did not take long for a new face to join the brand. A guy named Fresh who looks
Sonic Mindscape has joined the chat. How are you doing tonight, sir? Welcome to the stream. I'm going to read that book. You're going to read Why Women Deserve Less? Have you not read that book yet? I got a chance to listen to it on audio version because I'm, like I said before, I'm in a Telegram group that does all of those like guru books, everything from what's it called? How to make friends and influence people, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all of those type of like self-help books. Why Women Deserve Less is in that, and they also added the book that I did in there as well, the Why Myron Deserves Fresh. So yeah, it's a quick read. I'll definitely say that, and I will be completely honest with you, Sonic. It is, if you've seen an episode of Fresh and Fit, you kind of already know what the book is about, because it literally is just a repeat of whatever stuff that Myron spews. But I mean, definitely read. I'm sure there's a free way to read it without having to pay for it, because I mean, you shouldn't have to pay for it.
Looks like this. Mr. Weeks, Mr. Walter, I think that's his name, Walter Weeks. And Fresh made a name for himself by doing gold digger pranks, which is very, very cool. Those are very good content. I love those pranks so much. This beautiful, unexpected start would precede a lot of calling out of privileged women and a lot of these two alpha males giving their excellent, big, giant, hairy, fucking ballsack alpha male takes, which I am a big fan of, by the way. I don't ever skip this content. It doesn't upset me either. That's one of the things too, that I think that there's something wrong with me. When I see shit that's just like blatantly stupid and wrong and doing damage to people's minds, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, I enjoy this type of stuff. I like watching it. It's a chuckle. It's a good chuckle for me. The same way I would watch like Family Guy or South Park.
Are you a man and you date younger women?
What's that? Oh no, obviously
then
I'm
be
not.
quiet. What the fuck? Like how are you gonna tell a guy?
Because I'm a young
older than
woman.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right
And you're
now
single,
that
bitch.
I
Shut
will
the fuck
not.
up. Like really, like you're single and you're telling him something. He's telling you something. And you keep talking.
Sonic coming back, he says, if you've already seen an episode of Fresh and Fit, you've already read the book. Dude, it's totally true, bro. It really is. Like, just the lessons that are in it is something that Myron has basically said over time of, probably about 200 episodes of Fresh and Fit, and he was able to compile it into about 80 pages. So he does tell kind of like a make-believe story of like 3 different types of men in terms of like, the way they approach women in the beginning. And then, but still the lessons in it are stuff that he says in terms of his like advice on the show. So you'll hear a lot of what the stuff he says on Fresh and Fit that's in the book. I mean, it's literally just a compilation of all of his notes, and he had enough notes made. He's like, you know what, I can make this into a book, and I'm pretty sure that's how the process happened.
That's why you're single.
Dude, I love this, man. You can just smell the average IQ in the room at any given time, and it's just like sub 100. I especially like the take of men want a variety of different women, and women want a variety of different emotions within a man.
Men want a variety of different women. Women want a variety of different emotions with the same man. So we're not the same. So like you saying, well, it's not fair that you want to have sex with 2 girls. Like, I want to have sex with 2 dudes. What I've realized with girls is y'all don't really want 2 dudes. You guys just want to be able to say and be equal to a man. And the reality is you'll never be equal to us.
I keep feeling there's someone fucking watching me right now. Like, I've just freaked out. There's a whole big room right there, and that's what my ancient ape primal mind does. Just keeps me. Anyways, maybe I'm being too harsh. They do have some good, solid advice and things to take from them, like everyone. I say multiple times, every single video.
Sonic came back. He's like, be honest, Camp. How's the writing of the book? How's the writing in the book? Would you say it's definitely high tier writing? You know what? I wouldn't say it's high tier. I would say it's just Myron talking, And he actually also did the audio version, so it's not. I wouldn't say it's high tier writing, man. It's really. I mean, it's the level of advice that Myron will give you. It's all based in absolutes. It's this way and there's no changing it. I mean, what the synopsis of what it is, which Myron has told people, is that it's just a book of like telling men to not simp for women, because they don't deserve it. And, you don't need to give all your energy to someone that isn't going to give it back, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, you get the impression that it's written by a guy that he looks at women as kind of like just subhuman, you know, like they're beneath men. And if you don't think that way, if you think that, you know, every person in this world is like unique and special and, you know, nobody's beneath anybody, it's kind of I wouldn't say it's a tough read. It's just kind of like an immature read. You know, it's not something that you need to take. It's something you need to take with a grain of salt. That would probably be the best way to describe it. Because, you know, even watching an episode of Fresh and Fit, you don't have to like absorb all of their views. You can just kind of listen to it, make your own judgment. And that's kind of what I would say about the book is read the book and then make your own judgment about how you want to take the advice that's dispensed within that book. So,
you know, even a broken clock, right, twice a day.
You should not be broke, okay? You should get to a point where you work so much that you don't even have time to spend your fucking money. Fact. And if you do spend your money, you don't gotta go and check your bank account every 2 seconds. That is the worst feeling ever, bro.
Okay, that's not really that good of a. I mean, I guess it is. If you value money, if you value money and just success over everything else, and you're just like a fucking cretin, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense then, I suppose.
Okay, you got nothing to be depressed about. There's children right now.
Oh, this is the clip that I was talking about probably about 4 or 5 live streams ago, where Myron actually, instead of insulting a guy that was considered a quote unquote loser, he actually goes a different direction and he expresses concern and wants to help him. In this clip, it doesn't show it, but I actually watched this episode, and I think the person's name is Skippy. He's just not good with women. He's very socially awkward, whatever. But you just watch this clip and you'll see that Myron, I don't know if Myron does show any type of compassion. I think he's just like, you have nothing to worry about or nothing to complain about. But if you will go back and find this episode with him and Skippy, you see that he actually genuinely has concern for this guy. And it's very different from the way he's like dismissive to people that call into the show that have similar aspirations or outlooks on life.
That don't even have clothes. That don't.
Oh dear God, do not listen to this red pill moron.
I feel like it is completely unlocked.
They cut it before they could show the rest, unfortunately. But yeah, if you look up Fresh and Fit Skippy, you can watch that whole episode. And yeah, it's the one and only time I will say that Myron had a little bit of like concern for another man that apparently would be a quote unquote loser in his eyes normally.
Logical way to.
I think the only reason why he didn't rip into shreds was because he was on the show, and I guess he had a little bit of clout. So
from top down, but for sure, being able to realize that you are privileged as fuck is not a bad thing. To, you know, use that to accompany other positive things you're doing with your life, like exercising, eating healthy, hugging your loved ones, spending less time working and more time experiencing reality, and then, you know, occasionally have a perspective shift. But perspective shift isn't going to work for just everybody, obviously.
My advice, some guys might not like hearing this, I don't think you should be dating any girl seriously between 18 and 25. You shouldn't even be having a girlfriend, bro. I attribute a lot of my success to not being in any real serious relationships with women in that time.
Sorry to say, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Myron didn't have a girlfriend till he was in his 30s. So, I mean, but he's had plenty of boyfriends. Oh, you know, he had that one serious boyfriend in college. So, yeah, we got to count that one.
I don't think that you should tell young men they shouldn't take women serious from 18 to 25 because that will stop their progression and stop their success. You're speaking subjectively.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Me too, man. I like your voice, by the way. Cool voice, cool beard, chill guy. Yeah, that's very illogical. It makes no sense. Yeah, just waste your life being a hedonist. That's my advice to all of you. If you guys are dumb enough to believe me right now, take every single opportunity you possibly can to get gratification in as short of an amount of time as you like is physically possible. Ignore all the teachings from everyone who's ever existed in history and just listen to these red pill guys. Just listen to them. That's it. You will be incredibly happy and you will live a fulfilling life.
Yeah, I mean, create the horrors that you want to avoid. I mean, by being in this type of mind frame that women are disposable and you shouldn't take them serious, yeah, you're creating more horrors to go around for the rest of these guys that are going to have this same mindset. So, yeah, it kind of feeds into itself. Whereas, you know, you got guys that don't really march to that beat of drum, and now they are surrounded by girls that are, you know, traumatized from this type of mindset that men have. And yeah, it's like it really fucks up the ecosystem, you know. And I think that's probably why dating is the way it is right now, because, you know, you got girls that are now looking at guys that are like, you know what, I'm just going to try to get whatever I can get out of them. And men, they're already having that same type of mindset. It's just different in a ways, but I'm just going to get whatever I can get out of women. And everybody's out for themselves. So nobody wins.
Promise you. I promise. I promise. I bet. If not, you can have your money back from Sour.gg, my candy company that we manufacture candy, and it is literally just candy. There's nothing special about it at all. We have a new flavor dropping very soon. You will love it. Go to Sour.gg. We sell out. I actually run a real business, not like some of these alpha males, not to throw, I'm sure they do, I don't really know. It's not a white labeled product, it's an actual real legitimate product that we make ourselves, and I put a little milliliter of love in every strip. I don't actually.
Yikes.
Do that.
Yikes.
I think that's probably not something I should say, but leave it
A
in.
milliliter of love, that's not good.
And anyways, go to sour.gg. Yeah. We're probably sold out, by the way, so you're gonna have to give us your email and sign up. We'll send you an email and let you know when it comes back live every Friday.
Who decided 2 + 2 = 4? Man did, right?
Another classic clip by Fresh. This is just like his big brain moment right here.
You're saying on a basis 2 + 2. Who decided that?
Who decided 2 + 2 = 4? Is that a serious question? With all due respect, like, is
No.
no one decided 2 + 2 = 4, bro.
How did it come about?
2 + 2. Look, mathematics.
Look at Myron's eyes the whole time. He's just like, oh God, what a fucking idiot. Wait, hold on. I gotta back that up. For those that weren't watching, let's go back. Just watch Myron's eyes right here. This shit is funny as fuck. Hold on. Let me go back. It's Ted. All right.
2. Who decided that?
Who decided 2 + 2 = 4? Is that a serious question? With all due respect, like, is
No.
no one decided 2 + 2 = 4, bro.
How did it come about?
2 + 2. Look, mathematics is a language. Yeah, mathematics is a language, and it's actually it's a tautology. So tautology is when you say the same thing twice. 2 + 2 is an expression of 4. So the equal sign in mathematics shows that 2 + 2 is equivalent to 4. Do you get it?
I've literally never heard anyone on the internet ever say the word tautology ever in my entire life. I've never heard anyone speak this outside of books. This is crazy. And look at them. This guy looks like he just saw a ghost. One red flag I'd like to say, as opposed to a red pill, is the fact that Fish and Fret are still on YouTube. How can they still be on YouTube if they're actual red pillers? How can you be red pilled and still exist on this platform unless you quite literally are just playing the game? That's what I want to ask. Are you just a massive grifter? Are you just like the rest of us and you're just pretending?
Someone breaks into the house, I'm supposed to go ahead and just go handle it, right? What if in some weird dream world you had to tell me to do that? How would that make you feel?
That's why I divorced. Like you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What if you had to tell me to defend you? How would that make you feel?
Not good. Like you're not the one.
Okay.
Like you don't care about me enough to defend me without me telling you to.
Fantastic. What about you?
You're not a man.
Fantastic. What about you?
Yeah, like Masha said, I shouldn't have to tell you.
So why the fuck should I have to tell you to stop acting like a hoe, going to the club, keeping your Instagram up, dressing like a whore, etc.?
What do y'all think about that? I once again think that that's very true among groups of people that I've never met. Probably. It's probably fucking true. I don't know. I don't care. I just don't know how these people can speak with such fucking conviction. Now, on the whole, I mean, what? My theory is that misogyny sells to the young. That's my theory. Or any sort of ideology that causes you to defend things like this or do things like this. You got to be young. You just have to be young. I believe, what is his name? George Orwell said something about the women and the young, above all else, being the most bigoted in their beliefs and the way that they adhere to ideology. So I don't really know about women in this specific case, referring to Orwell, but the young people, that makes a lot of sense to me. I just can't see any adult man who has a real grounding in reality type vibe and is doing very well for himself and has like a family and stuff, ever thinking these things and believing them. By the way,
That's literally what I believe. Like what he just said is, it's like once you step out of this red pill, you step like offline and you step into the real world and you deal with real people. It's like their whole world just falls apart, and all of their beliefs and all of their rhetoric, it all falls to the wayside because it doesn't apply to 99% of the world outside of Miami. You know, it's like everybody else out here is, you know, women are a little bit more understanding, they're more real, they're not gold digging and stuff, you know, like people are really trying to be out here just trying to find good people, you know. But if you're not a good person yourself and you have this like disposable mindset that, oh, I'm just going to get what I can out of you, yeah, you are going to find you're going to attract people that are going to be disposable, and you're going to be disposable too. And it's like, I think you attract what you are. But I think if you kind of get out of that mindset and you don't like live under this dichotomy of like, oh, you're either a simp or you're an alpha male, you know, if you just kind of like throw all that away and just live your life for yourself, march by the beat of your own drum, and realize that you don't have to take advice from these online influencers or whatever, because they're just trying to do it so that you will buy their course and make them rich. You realize that it's really not as complicated as they make it, and you can really go out and just take care of life, you know, take care of it on your own terms and achieve success on your own terms. You don't have to, there's no plan that you have to follow. You know, the things that they say that is, you know, I guess the biggest driving points to why people even follow them in the first place, you know, in terms of earning more money, taking care of your body, you know, staying motivated and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all like basic stuff that other people have told you for years and years and years. Is like, yeah, definitely health is definitely number one. You know, you can't wake up and achieve success and grow your wealth and grow your status and stuff if you're not healthy. That's number one, of course. After that, everything else in terms of mindset, it's all about organization, scheduling, goal making. You know, that's all you need to do. Write down your goals and take baby steps to achieve them. I mean, you don't have to buy a course for that. Come on now.
These motherfuckers claim to have had sex with thousands of women. Thousands, between the two of them, 2,000, something like that. I think Myron says 1,000 for himself, and the other guy says 400, which is lame. HSV-2 infection is more common in women and in people who have had more than 5 sexual partners. So if he's had 200 times 5, say it's more common, say it's 5% more common if you've had over 5 sexual partners, so he's 1,000% more likely to have contracted herpes.
So, my honest to God truth body count, bro.
This clip, oh man, what a classic clip, man. This is probably like, this is a double doozy, because not only does he say his body count in this one, but then also he tries to get a kiss, and it's just like, it just shows like that's the truth. That's how women really feel about him, and it's pretty funny.
No cap. Ready for it? It's over 1,000. I'm dead ass serious. I remember I told you, right? I told you about in Barbados when. So basically, guys, I'm gonna break it down for you, right?
Full cap. Full cap. Show us that genital penis. You got warts all over that thing. I bet you stirred the kettle with it too. By the way, I think I mixed it up. I think it's Fresh as the 1,000 and Fit or whatever the other guy. Myron and Weak. I get them mixed up. I don't fucking know.
I'm probably close to 400 now at this point. Allegedly.
400?
Yeah. But it doesn't matter for me.
Oh, you got high value because you fucked 400 girls.
Allegedly. Yeah, but I mean,
allegedly.
Here's the thing. For a
And
man, stop. For a man to have sex with a lot of girls, he has to put in work. You don't have to put in work. You just get
Not
fucked.
in Miami, not in Miami.
I love the idea of being a high value man too. That shit's funny as fuck to me. The most important thing, money, how much value I have, how much sex I give, how many orgasms I deliver, and also...
Whoa, Myron does not care about the whole orgasm thing. It's only about his own. He doesn't care about the female orgasm because it doesn't serve a purpose, according to Myron. So...
How long my penis is. You can make it longer. Look up pilking. And also jelk maxing. Pilking is something we made up. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck? Because you fuck a lot of girls, your value goes down?
Goes up.
It goes up?
If you fuck a lot of guys, your value goes down. Oh, it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, what's your body count then?
I'm not gonna say it.
Exactly.
I is not that high.
What is it? If you didn't care and it didn't matter, you would say your body count. But it does matter, which is why you don't want to say it.
No,
That's the
it's
point.
just because it's private. I don't want to say it on the internet because like people are dumb and they're gonna be like, I don't know. It's just.
But that means it matters.
It's my life.
But that
it
means
doesn't
it matters.
matter. It's
But
people are just dumb.
That's my point.
I
That
can
means
say
it matters.
No,
That
I
means
can
it
say
matters.
it. I can say it. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Okay, 13.
Cap.
I swear to God.
The logic is the good key unlock mini lock, bad lock unlocked by mini key. That's like the logic, but that's with locks and keys, not humans. So let's circle back to Mr. Fresh, Walter. Little buddy Walter, all right? Little guy, he's a little fella. Just a little tiny guy. He's very, he's in hot water right now because he's, he's the antithesis of what he's sold himself as. He's a simp. He's a freaking simp, guys. That's right.
Sonic, don't get too, don't get offended by this, that what he's about to say here about Fresh. It's just the truth.
Right. The slur on Twitch. Simp. You can't say simp on Twitch.
And before anybody gets upset, be like, oh, you guys really wanted us to give them like a courtesy. That's the least we could have done before we do a video shitting on them. So I messaged Walter and I let him know, I'm like, hey man, just wanted to give you a courtesy heads up that we're going to cover you simping for a sugar baby. So I did let him know before we did a video.
So the first part of this just bonkers story begins with this guy meeting a girl that I think is named Miranda about a year ago. All right. The way they met, very suspicious.
They met on Seeking Arrangements. I mean, yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious. Miranda posts a lot on TikTok about how she finesses men. This gal's a sugar baby. All right. Getting a bunch of money from a bunch of guys who are very desperate, have too much money, $5K a week, not even for sex. They just want them to get farted on, basically. Okay, guys, she flexing on them 30. How do you say hoes with numbers? Miranda loves bragging about all the men she gets to send her money online via TikTok, which is awesome in the same way Red Pill content is awesome. On the Fresh and Fit podcast, Miranda specifically does not care about money, though. She wants a man with personality.
I care that he has a personality and I can be around
But
him
you
and
don't
not
care
want
if
to
he's a
kill
high value
myself.
man.
No, I really don't. I did not care about his chain. I did not care about his watch. I don't care that.
Beat it up, N-word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
I saw she hadn't been tainted yet. She hadn't been like in certain circles where like, you know what? Damn, she's gone through the streets. Dude, she
And this is just evidence that Fresh doesn't know how to vet women properly. That's all that proves. So, let's see. Sonic came back and said, I mean, I can talk all... Wait, I mean, he can talk all the crap he wants, but Fresh live chatters on his YouTube lives... Wait, hold on. I gotta read this over. I'm sorry. I can't read right now. I mean, he can talk all that crap he wants, but Fresh live chatters on his... But Fresh's live chatters on his YouTube channel lives are up. What? Live chatters on his YouTube channel lives are up. I even got a screenshot to prove it. Oh, his live stream chatter numbers are up. Okay. Like up to what? Oh, up from 30? Yeah, that's, I mean, come on now. That's a low bar to clear, man. What are we talking about? Like 600, 700? Is that what we're talking about? Oh man, Sonic going on defense for Fresh, man, in terms of his live viewers. Are we counting bots? Are we counting bots? Because, you know, it's just a flip of the switch. I hope you understand that.
She don't want clout, bro. Honestly, she didn't want to do this live stream. She's doing this for me, so I appreciate her for that.
Yeah, so it's like a bit of irony there, a bit of poetic irony, okay? Macaroni. By the way, we're watching a video from this guy, Abba and Pre.
Sonic came back and says his live stream numbers, his live stream chatters are up to 1,000. Okay. I mean, like I said, man, you know, he bots his streams. I think he was streaming on YouTube and Kick, I believe, at the same time. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, sure. I mean, are we talking about, oh wait, specifically 1,300? Okay, so are we talking about his most recent live stream that you're talking about? Because I know that he streamed on Kick earlier today. It was, well, at least when I saw, like, I didn't even like click on it, but what I saw, it was like at like 300. So I mean, dude, like I said, man, they bought their stream, so I'm not really like, I'm not impressed. Are you impressed? Bro, stop the bot excuse. You haters. Do you, okay, so you don't believe that they bought their streams? Are you serious? You don't believe that? You don't believe that, huh? Because there was specific evidence that was put forward on the man, this was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago that we exposed that. Bro, stop the bot excuse. We might have to debate on Fresh, dude. I was thinking about the topic. I was thinking about YouTube ads, whatever, but it might have to be Fresh, dude. Yes, the most recent live stream on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I mean that was also restreamed on Kick, whatever, from what I understand. And yeah, dude, I mean it's like, okay, if the thing is, man, it's like you got to always factor in the bots. Okay, it's not a bot. If you don't think it's a bot, it's not an excuse, it's an explanation why it's up to that. I mean, if we have to check it out, we'll check it out to verify and stuff. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if I'm not saying it's not impossible, but if he's going to be streaming on Fresh and Fit, there's going to be people that are going to jump in thinking that, you know, Myron's a part of the stream because it's on the Fresh and Fit channel. But then when they see that it's not, you know, they're going to leave. Sonic says, now, no, bro, it's a joke. I'm joking. I just thought it was a joke in the community. That was that I was a Fresh. You are a Fresh supporter, though. What are you talking about, man? I mean, I don't know if that was a joke, man. I was pretty. You sounded very convincing just from the way you typed it. I mean, if it's a joke, if you're saying it's a joke, okay, but they do bot their streams, and it's something that it's pretty significant. Like in terms of, I mean, I know they do it on Rumble. So I think if you can do it on Rumble, you can do it multi-stream and stuff. They definitely do it on X. They bought on X and they bought on all that stuff, and you know they pay good money for it. There was a guy that basically hacked. Well, they said that they got their account hacked by a guy, but apparently this was the guy that was botting their streams. So, and I guess they said that hey, he basically got their account taken down. And that was also how they got the Instagrams taken down too. He was connected to all of their social media, and the guy ended up asking for a large amount of money to basically give them their account back, and they weren't going to play ball. They weren't going to do that. And then the guy ended up getting caught, and he had to serve some time for that because it wasn't just Fresh and Fit that he was doing that for. So. Laugh my ass off. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Well, I mean, if it's a joke, it's a joke, man. But we have the information over here, man. And it's not the stuff that I really care to know. It's just stuff that's brought to me. I research it, and it's true, bro. Like all the facts are there. You just got to be tuned in.
Reacting to a video that was deleted that has all this original content. Everything has been deleted. It's very hard to find it. I've never seen anyone look at me ever like this, ever.
Wow, you look really pretty. Your eyes are really pretty.
Thank you. Yours are as well.
Thank you.
They're blue. Fresh eventually, after receiving a lot of pressure from the fans, came clean on a live stream where he said that they met on a Seeking Sugar Baby website.
And I did say this before, that Fresh will make a lot of claims in his videos, and then months, sometimes even a year later, he will come clean about the whole thing. So he did the same thing with Miranda. He did the same thing with Daisy. In terms of the bracelet, you know, first he said he didn't pay anything for the bracelet, and then a year later on Mr. Organic stream, he said that he paid half, and that was something that Daisy claimed literally like months when they were, you know, they had just ended the relationship, and that was, you know, it was a blatant lie. So yes, for someone like the character of Fresh to say that, oh, you know, they denied botting their streams, whatever, and then they say that their account got hacked by the guy that was a botter. He would bot people's streams, boost their numbers and stuff, and But he would also, this guy came back and blocked their accounts and everything. And then he asked for a large sum of money because, you know, these guys were claiming to be multimillionaires. So the guy saw them as a target. So, yeah, them being all braggadocious, man, kind of got them in some hot water with the guy that was, you know, manipulating their streams. And, you know, would you say that's karmic justice? I don't know, man. Take that with you, what you will.
How is that a thing? What?
Honest truth. No cap.
With no cap, we met on Seeking.
Yeah, so we met on there. We definitely spoke, and then I got Instagram, and that was it for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk for like a minute.
We didn't talk for like months because I didn't really want to meet people.
Very embarrassing. Why would you ever go on a Seek? Isn't that cheating? You don't need to use any skill at all. You just get fucking money. You just have money. This is her account. D Milfy, 23, female, Miami, Florida, United States. What the fuck is up with Miami, dude? I feel like I would combust if I ever went there. I'm 22, still in college, studying medicine. Truly. You know, my own veterinarian hospital someday. My medicine yelled in the net. I have a golden retriever lab milk who's 3 years old. I try to take him to the dog park for a long walk when I can. When I'm not with him, I'm usually working, running, or having dinner and drink with friends. Also seeking active lifestyle, fine dining, luxury lifestyle mentorship. Very open-minded, always down to try something new and embrace new experience. See, this seems pretty reasonable, right? But then you got her making TikToks about just clowning on dudes and stealing their money, essentially. I worry about the online digital footprint in regard to this veterinarian hospital. Reputation is pretty important when working in the medical field, even if it's just for animals. Look at them down there. If I had to be one of these people, though, I'd probably choose Miranda. Either that or an amorphous, great supine protoplasmic invertebrate jelly. This, by the way, 2 years ago, the beginning of the end for the Fresh and Fit podcast, or the beginning of the decline. They're still around. It's very hard to disappear unless you say some really wacky shit. But this started the end of Fresh, specifically with the Fresh and Fit podcast. Quiet and shy guy number 63. I don't get why he's here. He has no natural energy. He's not a leader. I don't know what's going on. Why do people like him? He's a fucking bump on a log.
It doesn't have to be just you. It could be you and a rotating guest of whoever you want. If you want to, I mean, I know you can't have Sneeko because of the whole YouTube thing, or the whole banning thing, whatever, but you can have other people that commonly come in and rotate, whatever. Man, I just feel like he just sits there like a bump on a log, man, and he waits to end the show.
I feel like that caller is absolutely right, by the way. Dude has no contributions. He doesn't say anything. Nothing's going on. He's not even offensive, really, like the other guy. At least he's not even saying anything. He just doesn't do shit. People in the comments love calling the other guy Uncle Ruckus.
Say that again. I couldn't hear you over the sound of me shitting myself.
Why people get a bit annoyed because they're going, hey, we see this other fucking dude on the other side of the table working hard, day in, day out, losing sleep, grinding the whole time, talking about equipment, doing a whole bunch of other shit. And it just seems like you're just going to the club and twerking.
And it seems like he's been deleted off of all of his socials. I don't know if he deleted them himself or if he's been banned because he flew too close to the Red Pill Sun and was talking about Tower 7 or something fun like that. He does have a Patreon still. Maybe he just doesn't use social media. Perfectly reasonable as well. Poor guy gets called out on Reddit as well. Walter Weeks refuses to hang out with team after shows. Go to club, twerk. There's no research for any of these shows. Just shows up, twerk. That's what I do on my podcast with Mudahar. To be fair, they talk about anime and shit, and I just don't give a fuck.
And very successful still doing it too.
Like didn't take the gym nor the speech therapy session seriously. Why would he when he gets paid while doing nothing, going to club and twerk? Takes no accountability. Everyone who calls him out is a hater, going to club and twerk. Refuses to do long hours of work because they have to go to the club and twerk. He loves going to club, man. And he sucks. He's not a red pill genius. He's just pretending. He doesn't say things that are engaging that make you think, regardless of whether or not they're right or wrong. Anyways, now we are to the most depressing part of this whole thing and the biggest drama that Fresh has been involved in, and it's very depressing. It's not good. It's really fucking bad. Walter fell for another woman. This time, he accidentally put a baby inside of her. Oh, no, Walter. Why? And this woman, unfortunately for him, is just there for the money. Normally, that's a good thing for Walter. Walter likes that normally. But this time, she's just there for the money, and there's a baby in it, and that means there's a lot of money entitled. Not good. Daisy Chin is the model, the woman who set the trap for the desperate man who's got the cash. Now, obviously, none of this would be an issue. This happens all the fucking time, but he doesn't stand for things like this. That's the whole, it's the antithesis, once again, of the red pill movement. Would you guys stop wrestling like fucking Russian bears? Girls who are only with a guy because of money, not charm. That's not, you can't do that. That's not what it's about. It's about being a high value male. You're not a high value male if you're just paying people to pretend that you're a high value male. It's not.
Whoa, is that a good point, or is that a good point? My God, you'd think you'd be able to get women off of your charisma, your charm, your good looks, you know, but no, if you got money, that's all it takes, especially in Miami. So that's the program.
Not how it works. Then comes Fresh beginning a dating relationship with this girl, and it just doesn't end the way you, I mean, it ends exactly how you'd expect it. He got the girl, and there's text messages to prove it.
Gotcha. Whatever the distance is, please don't give up on us. And likewise, miss you so much. Miss you 24/7, it's scary. Come back sooner then. Misha, Jongorema. March.
Seems like he got the girl. Then radio silent. Turns out he didn't get the girl. He didn't get the girl. He didn't actually want to be a father. He's not a good man. He's not a red pill guy at all. He's a bad person. He's what we thought. He's the antithesis of what all this having values and principles is about. They talk about him not being monogamous, they broke his promises, but a bunch of problems, man. He used me, he hurted me. He was a cheater and a huge gamer. I only found it. Dude, he's fucking Fresh from Fresh and Fit. He's what? How could you not know this?
I only found out this later and started to take his haters' words.
You stood by his side and supported him and believed in him. You are a naive person. Very
He started to believe Reddit, because that was when she was really diving into Reddit and seeing all the hate that Fresh was getting. And at first she didn't understand it, but then after he did all that wrong to her, she started to look more into it, and she's just like, dude, these guys were on point the whole time.
naive. Go to court, make him pay child support. Justice. So she doubles down, releases all this information, says that as of March 30th, she's pregnant. She doesn't want this to happen to any other girls. And Fresh asked her to move out and leave. She booked a ticket back to New York City, and she's fucking outie, dude. Pregnant, I'll call you shortly. Take your time. Chinese phone call. I can't have kids. Take responsibility for your actions. Yeah, dude. Take responsibility for your actions. 3 to 4 week, doctor says. Oh, okay. It's our baby, and you went to kill our baby. You're not being a good human. It's not about that right now. It's not good, and it's a lot happening, especially now. Business may be over. Also, now I'm worried I have to test other girls. At least 4. Another girl. 4 girls. You were saying you have sex with 4 girls without protection? I hope you have all the money for your children's support. You finally admit you are fucking trash. I don't have money. Good luck. Lol, you will see.
Jesus. Fresh is like in his 30s, man, typing LOL. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Massive just lack of responsibility being taken here. Not masculine behavior, in my opinion, at all. Very, very not masculine. I don't know what behavior this is, but it seems demonic in nature. It's not feminine behavior. It's not masculine behavior. It's not honest behavior. What are
It's marsupial behavior. It's just going off the whims of your own desires and just implanting your seed with reckless abandon. I mean, that's what it is, man. And it's not masculine. It's not mature. It's just it's marsupial behavior. That's literally what I would call it.
Other positive values and principles that real men and good people in general should have. I can't think of any that apply to this here. I think this is just being a piece of shit. Tons of people are calling out Mr. Fresh for being a fucking absolute deadbeat and abandoning his baby mama's child. Also, while begging her to kill it so he's not financially obligated in any other way. A phone call was leaked of him talking, and it's just as you'd expect.
What?
I want the... It's okay. Don't worry. This is just an example of what not to be as a person. First off, for hooking up with anyone who's been with 1,000 people and says that publicly, you're an idiot. You're stupid as fuck. Secondly, being a deadbeat and not taking responsibility for your actions and accepting consequences for the things you do. Huge fucking idiot as well. Gigantic, big fucking massive idiot. So whatever it is, if it's baby trapping, oh well. You deserve it. What the fuck do you expect when you do what you do? Needless to say, these two geniuses addressed the allegations with a lawyer. on the pod, and the lawyer was stressing, dude, stressing the entire time. Fuck. Poor guy. He's like, holy fuck. There's also a take that he just never loved her from the very beginning and was just pretending or whatever, just to seem like a red pill guy. But he introduced her to his mother, which I feel like it becomes fairly personal at that point. So then they start defending her and saying that she's not there for money because she comes from a wealthy family. She has a visa and she comes from China a whole bunch of times and stuff, and it's hard to do that.
This girl comes from a rich ass family.
Yeah, bro.
You know how difficult it is to get
Too lazy to try's video. Yeah, man, Myron completely flipped on this one, dude. He was just like, no, she comes from a well-to-do family. Their family are millionaires, so she's not an escort. Okay, people just take her photos and repost it on escort websites. Okay, she's not a escort. She's not a hooker. None of that. Cut to, yeah, she's a hooker. She's an escort. You know, she robbed. Actually have a document that's crumpled up that was found online. I don't know how you get a crumpled up piece of paper that was found online, but yeah, she stole money from this company and she was fired for it. And she also finessed another guy for some money, and she was throwing it all around an ATM. And yeah, it was just, we got all the proof. We got the video. Here it is.
get a visa as a Chinese national to come to the United States as often as she does. She comes from a very wealthy family, bro. Okay? And I don't know why Fresh hasn't explained this before, but she comes. That's what it is.
And right after that, they then start calling her a hoe. So I'm not really sure what the video comes out. Walter nowhere to be seen, probably for legal reasons, and they crack down on Daisy Chen. Very stressful in Fresh and Fit world, and I can imagine, dude. At this point, I would cut up the relationship. I would drop Fresh in an instant after all this stuff. I would have dropped him a long time ago. He's fucking boring as shit. Like, you just can't. Why are you making content with him? What are you doing? Like, you don't have to just make content with someone. You're just all grifting. Find someone who's even better and make more money and put him behind the scenes. What the
like FitX Fearless.
fuck? You've showed and proven that principles don't matter, but Fit, he goes on a massive rant about loyalty and starts, I think, crying while he's screaming and yelling about how he's loyal to a fault.
I'm fucking there when I'm fucking figuring out what the fuck I'm gonna do because we got the mindset. You motherfuckers weren't there when everyone in their fucking mind. You motherfuckers weren't there when I got the false accusation against me. You motherfuckers weren't there when
sweating. So yeah, anyways, the whole fucking situation's crazy. They've got proof of her being an escort. She denies it, which is very odd, something bizarre I wouldn't deny. Maybe it makes her look like a more responsible mom, gives her a better court case if she does want to try and extract money from Fresh. Ooh, they didn't bring out a bit more evidence against her, exposing that she was fired from her job for fraud, and she's not even who she says she is, which is crazy.
We have her ID. Here she is. We obviously blurted out personal information so that we wouldn't dox her, but it's to show you guys that we know what we're talking about here. We actually have her Jin Chen. That's your real name, by the way, Jin Chen. It's not Daisy. You run around calling yourself Daisy Chen, but you're really Jin Chen. Okay? And we found out that you got fired from your job. Okay? Here's where you used to work for, right? For a marketing company. You were a marketing manager, Daisy. Or should I say Jin Chen. And we have the documents to show that you got fired and why you got fired. Again, this is all in Chinese.
Overall, bad person, bad shit, asshole situation all around. I'd say take that pill and move on. At the end of the day, we have to choose sides. You cannot fence sit on a situation like this. Are we siding as the internet as a whole? Are we siding with Walter or are we siding with Daisy? We have to choose facts over feelings. All right. So Fresh presents himself as an alpha male and says that girls don't get with him for money. That is provably false. And there's so much evidence of him just giving girls money to have him sleep with them. He only sleeps with girls who have value. He doesn't sleep with hoes, but also has been with 1,000 women. And I feel like most women with value probably wouldn't even want to touch a guy who statistically has 1,000% chance likelihood of increased genital warts. So the logic for Walter falls into this: rules for thee, not for me.
That can apply to Myron as well. There's plenty of contradictions that Myron has where it's rules for these but not for me. Living with your woman is one of them off the top of my head that I can think of.
And the massive grifter, I suck as a human being, I am worthless. And to double down, I feel like proving all this shit after the fact just shows how dumb you guys are for letting her in your life when there is so much just negative shit about her online. To be honest, I think that this is pretty bad. This is a pretty bad look. If I was Walter, I would be insanely embarrassed. I do hope the situation is figured out. By the way, I'm fence sitting. I think they're both absolute idiotic fools, but I'm inclined to be on Daisy Chen's side just because I know less about her. Can't imagine she's that good of a person. Posting that shit on social media. I mean, this is just so fucking embarrassing. I'm once again on the side of the great supine protoplasmic invertebrate jellies. That's why I ride the fence, motherfuckers.
Shout out to Oompaville, man. That's guy's got quite the following, over a million, 5.2 million freaking followers. So funny video, very entertaining. But I like how he just randomly brought me up in conversation. And I remember I commented on this video. I was like, hey man, thank you for agreeing with my take on Fresh. I'll be sure to send you a copy of Why Myron Deserves Fresh. Keep up the great content. That was like over a year ago. So let's go back to, we're gonna go back to the last video. This is the last video of the evening. Got about 40 minutes left. So this is a 10-minute video. So we should make it. This is a heated debate. It says Unk tries to fight Myron. This happened, I think, yeah, like a day ago. And, you know, Myron was out doing his Friday night IRL streams. You know, there's no more call-in shows. They've been replaced with these IRL streams. And so he came out, sat in Brickell with a sign saying women should be in the kitchen. Change my mind. Of course, you're going to get plenty of people that are going to have contentious arguments and disagreements. And so there was a few. There was one that came up that was, I believe, an OnlyFans woman, claimed to be a millionaire, disagreed with Myron. And now you got this this older gentleman that wants to fight Myron. So here we go. Let's see what this one's all about.
Fine, yeah, just come around this way, bro. We'll take a picture. No problem, no problem. You didn't know. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, bro.
No problem, man. Yeah, no worries. No problem, bro. Thank you for supporting. So yeah, women belong in the kitchen. Oh, what's up, bro? How are you, man? Women belong in the kitchen. Change my mind. Or the last military operation we did alongside Israel was a complete failure.
My man, where'd you get your game from?
My what?
Where'd you get your game from?
My game?
Yeah, like where you get your game from? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume you mean my knowledge. A multitude of different places. Experience, other people's experiences. I read quite a bit on.
I'm talking about your experience.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a.
What's your experience with black women? What's your experience with your game? I'm not talking about how many books you read, other people's experience. Where your game?
Well,
from?
I quite literally said my game. I said my experiences, other people's experiences.
What's your
reading.
experience?
Well, I mean, I've talked to more women than any other man probably on the internet.
I'm talking about other women. I'm talking about your experience.
I'm explaining it to you.
Why you hate black women so much?
Oh, I hate black women?
Why you talk down on black women? I'm talking about your experience, not everybody, all the books you read. I'm talking about your experience.
All right, so you clearly have a position here. What is your position?
I hear you.
No, well,
women.
Here's the thing: you hear me, but you're not listening. I answered your question multiple times.
You just said,
and you want to come to the conclusion of
people you know. I'm talking about your experience, King.
I told
not here
you
to disrespect your black form.
Okay.
I'm just talking about your experience.
I told you I've dated several women. Talked to them on the podcast. I've talked to more women than any other YouTuber. Okay.
What women you dated? What race you dated?
Oh yeah, 3,600. Yep. We've spoken to 3,600 girls on the show. I've talked to thousands of black women. I've dated black women. I understand.
You date a black woman.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay, so that one black woman that you dated discriminate every black woman, because I watch your shit and I respect you. You got a cool little platform, but I'm thinking you're making money off of other niggas' experience, and then at the end of the day, and you sit up here like big old mighty, like yo, I got experience to downgrade my peoples, my culture. But go ahead.
So
tell me all the books you read.
Yeah. So what's your disagreement then? Do you have like an actual position here?
No, until you listen. I respect
because what you're saying is you're basically saying, oh, you don't have experience. I don't.
I'm a black man. My mom is black. My sister's black. I love black women. But at the end of the day, you sit up here and then that you do downgrade black women because you're one experience. It's
Actually,
just like,
multiple.
prime example. It's just like it's just like a white girl that got took advantage of a black man. Now she don't want to date no black man in the world because that one bad experiences he had. That's how you sound like.
So anyway, I've spoken to hundreds of black women. I've dated them before,
Okay,
etc.
you talked to
Now here's
100.
the thing. Okay, are you gonna let me speak?
Go ahead, talk.
Yeah. So here's the thing, man. I get it. You want to put the cape on and cape for black women, but the reality is, all women have bad habits from here to there, and they're stereotypes. And stereotypes tend to be based on pattern recognition.
But you
over.
talk down on black women.
I talk down on everybody, honestly. It's just that.
What's your nationality? Where you from?
What does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with it.
It has absolutely nothing to do. That has nothing to do with anything. Someone's race. If I say something is
oops, hold on.
objectively true or it tends to be true.
K5, about to go to sleep camp. Take care, man. I appreciate you coming out of the stream, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Oh, and let me know what you think, man. I asked you earlier, what'd you think about the whole, I guess you said you're gonna watch it. You'll watch the last stream on how I created your graphic. This is the guy. This is the guy that wanted me to do the Green Lantern graphic and also the Catwoman graphic. So, yeah, man. Appreciate you hanging out with the stream, man. Have a good night.
It doesn't matter what my race is. Do I have to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2?
I was waiting for him to say that, dude. I knew at any point, whether it's talking to like an FBA or anybody that like accuses him of like hating black women, whatever, he always has to say that. He has to inject that into his argument. Do I have to be a mathematician to tell you that 1 + 1 = 2? I knew he was going to fit that in somewhere.
Oh, it's an objective fact. The reality is this with black women. On average, they weigh about 187 pounds. They tend to be rude. They tend to be crass. They tend to not respect male authority because a lot of them grow up in fatherless households. So these are stereotypes that tend to happen all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So
that's the new generation of women. OnlyFans.
It's pattern
black
recognition.
Women, white girls, but you can as more black women.
Again, I'm critical of all races. It's just that
But
people
you don't
tend to
target
remember.
black women.
I'm critical of everybody. The thing is that black women tend to be the most sensitive and get the most butthurt about it. They can't take criticism.
But you
and
know
then
the
it's
crazy
funny.
thing is, you
Yeah,
talk
go
shit
ahead.
about black women, but all your staff is black.
Yeah, that means I'm not racist.
So
Good
how
job.
these niggas work
That
for
shows
you?
I'm actually not a racist. Good
No,
job.
you are no. What it is that you're a slave master, and you enslave black people to work for you, and at the same time you talk shit about their mothers, their sisters, their aunties, their uncles, their families, and they work for you. I don't see not one white staff that work for you. I don't see the black.
This white girl right there.
What they at? Oh, that one security.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. You know, bro, let me be honest with you, bro. This is the problem, right?
Talk to me.
You came in here and you immediately made it about race.
No.
Let's have a real conversation here.
I watch you.
No. Black people are the most racist people.
You watch him, but you don't know where he's from. Come on now. I mean, people ask him all the time, where is he from? So he claims Sudan, Sudanese. I mean, this is basic information, but I don't know. It always seems like people that come with like the fire for Myron, they never have like a full deck of cards. They always have like one or two like points that they want to make, and they just want to keep hammering those points home. And it's like, if you just come with a little bit more of a more measured response or actual structured argument, you could actually focus on the points that you're trying to make rather than just making emotional arguments. Because so far, this has just been emotional arguments. He's not giving Myron the opportunity to talk. He's cutting him off after he asks him a question. It's very emotional. So that's at least what I'm getting from the initial reaction of this guy.
Ever. You came in here and immediately made the conversation about race, talking about race. You guys perpetuate the very stereotypes and the racism that you guys complain about the most. And this is why I make fun of black people too. Now, here's the thing. Y'all look at me and say, oh, you're not one of us. You're not black. I am. I'm African-American by definition. But if you don't want to go ahead and consider me black, fine. I don't want to be with y'all niggas anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is that you made this immediately about race. As soon as you came up, what's your knowledge with women? And I'm like, all right, well, here's my experiences. Oh, well, what's your thing about black women? So you came in here with an agenda to complain about my criticism of black women when I literally criticize everybody. Everybody gets criticized. It just so happens that they tend to get the most butthurt. What are you talking about? This is my shit, man.
And I respect your shit.
This is my shit, bro. What you talking about? Am I done? Like, this is my shit, bro.
I get what you shit, but at the end of the day, everything you talk about, because you gotta understand it. We got a right to, even though our black women ain't shit, but we came out of poverty.
This is
This
bro,
is our. Let me talk.
This is a low
I'll let you
IQ
talk.
argument, bro.
Let me
This
talk.
is a low IQ argument. Just because it's
Yeah,
like
I'm low key.
No, I said low IQ argument.
Why?
You're saying
because you was in the FBI and you would take a bunch of tests and you this and you got so much. You got one experience. When one black girl that you dated in your whole life of your career, you read a bunch of books, you know a bunch of friends, and you know so much of black. You got 2 white employees, and now you're not racist. Get the out of here, man.
Bro,
like I said, you a bigot,
bro. Okay,
I watch your shit.
Okay, so
you disrespect black women.
Yes,
you kick about your
I'm
show.
a. Here's the thing. I'm a proud bigot, man. Proud bigot, proud racist.
And
Sure.
I'm glad you said it.
Yep.
Conversation.
Because hey, somebody's got a fucking monkey behavior like right now. So this is monkey
I'm
behavior.
a monkey.
Yeah, this is a monkey behavior right now. Yeah.
Man,
Sonic just came back. He says, all right, Cam, I'm going to call it a night as well. Thank you for the content. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming out, dude. As far as the debate, you got a week, sir. If you want to message me either on Instagram or Discord or however we communicate and let me know what you would like to, I'll let you choose the topic and we will prepare in a week. And yeah, man, we'll get it going. So you have a good night, sir. I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. And hey, man, I'm still looking forward to that video that you said was going to be a critique on me, man. I've been, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I've been refreshing the page whenever I watch your videos. And I'm like, my video's not here. He's talking more about these other guys. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it, brother. But yeah, you have a good night, bro.
Chimping out.
Chimping
out. Yeah, you came up here trying to disrespect. So
I'm
it is
not
what it is.
disrespect you. I'm just
chipping
telling
out.
you what you preach.
Yo, you chipping out. You're not making any real arguments. You're just talking about race, blah, blah, blah. This is the problem,
that's
bro.
what you
This is the
do.
problem, bro. This is the problem with y'all. This is right now.
You gonna call me? You can't tell me where you from. Are you?
Look,
where you from?
You watch the show, right?
Where you from?
Sudan. Family's from Sudan, yeah.
Okay, a Middle Eastern nigga.
But now it's
talking
Middle Eastern.
shit about black niggas.
It's North Africa.
Talk about black.
It literally means the land of the blacks. You know that, right?
But you downgrade black women.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? I go off behavior. When they act like I call them this right now is behavior, regardless of your skin color. If you're a white dude saying this dumb shit, I'd say you're too. It's retarded behavior.
Because I'm telling you, you downgrade black women. I'm a retard.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, this is low IQ. It's low IQ. 100% low IQ.
But at the end of the day, my nigga, that's why they demonetize you on YouTube.
Sure, and I still make more money than you.
Hey, I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You still a bigot at the end of the day.
A proud one, too. I got my clan hood in the other room.
And guess what? I guarantee your girl's a white girl.
No, she ain't actually, no.
Nigga, I see you walk around with that weak-ass dog, nigga. With your white bitch. Come on, dude. You don't like black bitches.
This
Just
dude's
say you don't
stalking,
like
bro. This dude's stalking.
Huh?
This dude's stalking, man.
So like I said, I didn't come to disrespect you.
No, you tried and you failed. That's the problem. You tried.
No, you failed. No, do your thing, King.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't handle conversation.
There's no conversation. You can't be on some bullshit.
See, you can't get one of your securities to kick me out like you kicked these black bitches off your show.
What?
How you disrespect black women on your show?
Yeah.
You can't disrespect me. Because I'm a nigga walk up here, throw this drink in your face, and let you know what's up.
Oh, you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Try me.
that won't be good, man.
I'm Hamilton.
That won't be good, bro.
I'm Hamilton, though.
That won't be good. That won't be good. That won't be good. That won't be good. For those that are wondering, he's about 5'6". He's about 5'6". On some nigga shit, man. Bro, this is crazy. It's funny. It confirms all the stereotypes. Comes in, starts chimping out, starts acting crazy, having a good discussion, debate on higher IQ shit. This dude immediately makes it about black women, starts simping. Crazy. It's crazy, bro. Hey, man. This what, bro. You can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. People be on some bullshit, man. Like, it's comedy, man. Yeah, he even said himself, bro. These bitch ass niggas, bro. Holy, man.
One thing I will say is Myron needs to watch his back, dude. Even though he has those 2 security guards, whatever, and you got the police right there, it is like so easy. He's out in the open, dude, and for someone to just take his ass out. And, you know, someone who really doesn't need the clout, you know, he puts himself in these situations. He's really, you know, very vulnerable situations. And yeah, he may, and that's another thing that people will say is that, well, Myron always carries a gun with him and stuff. Yeah, well, there's people out there too that have guns, and people that don't necessarily have them registered, you know. And yeah, it could be something as quickly as something that the person walks up, takes 2 shots, runs off, or gets caught, or shoots themselves. So I don't know, man. He's definitely playing with fire, man. Definitely.
Well, I'll tell you this: that when they say, "Oh, you never talk to a man like that," there you go. There's your clip, niggas. Never say some bullshit about he got a friend castle just now. he got a street castle. It's an E for everybody, bro. It's fucking stupid ass guys, bro. Clowns, man. Okay, yeah. What's up? How are you?
All right, there's one more that I want to see. It's Myron versus OnlyFans Bimbo Millionaire. That's the last one, and this should bring us out to the evening. Oh no! An error has occurred. Hold on, let's see if there's a way to play it. Maybe it got taken down? Let's check it.
Like when you mean
Oh, no.
kitchen, do you mean like they need to take care of the house? Do they need to do all those jobs, like take care of the children and just do that?
Yes, my position is women should be prioritizing a family and children over
The
a
hell?
career and being a
And being a whore.
Yes.
So you're saying all women are whore?
a significant amount. Yes.
I mean, I don't know where you're getting that statistic from, but
A lot of
no,
women.
No.
A lot of women are pretty promiscuous. So,
And not men. The men right here, half of them are dogs.
well, the difference is
So
that
men are allowed to be dogs, but women can't be whore. Where's
Yeah.
the logic?
yeah, because men, right? We have to earn our value. Women don't. So a guy that has sex with a lot of women is doing something right. A woman that's having sex with a lot of dudes is doing something very wrong. We're not the same.
Very funny. That mindset
sorry,
is very
what is that?
funny. I think it's a funny mindset to have, honestly. Like, I don't get that. If a woman wants to own a business,
If women could do everything that a man can do, we wouldn't need to have lower standards for them when they join police forces or
half
the
of the men
military.
here lower
or,
their fucking standards. All they do is open doors.
Or we wouldn't have a female sports league versus a male sports league. The reality is that women can't do everything a man can do. That's actually
That's for sure. That male and female are not the
Yeah.
same. But we're talking not that. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about like how they're not the same in ways of like fucking women have to be in the kitchen.
Well, you're missing the point that it doesn't just end at the biology. We not only are we different biologically, we're different in the way that we're wired and the way that we do things because our biology dictates our sexual strategy. So, in
what
other
about-
words, so
sorry.
you understand this. Women look for quality, men look for quantity. So a woman is looking for the best guy that she can get and get long-term commitment from that man. A man is looking for attractive women and having as many of them as he can. So, in other words, a man that's having sex with a lot of women has to bring value versus a woman that's having sex with a lot of dudes does not have to bring value.
But what about a woman who, for example, the husband leaves her for another girl who cheats on her, so she's alone with her?
Well, that's where women need to be intelligent,
Which
understand.
is my kind of situation. My father left me.
It always, for what Myron is about to say, I haven't even seen this one, but I can tell you what Myron is about to say, it always falls back on the women choosing the wrong guy. It's always the woman's fault because she chose wrong. It's not that the man did anything bad. It's just that the woman chose wrong. That's what he's about to say. I can already tell you.
Age of 3, my mum had to bring me up with my brother alone.
Okay.
How does that work?
So again,
Women
I don't know.
stepped into the fucking like the masculine era. Of course she did. She had to do what she had to do. She's women can
Okay.
do everything. They don't have to stay in a kitchen.
You're making the emotional argument right now. What I'm saying is,
It's not emotional. It's
I'm saying is that families operate optimally when there's a man and a woman. The woman takes care of the family. The man is the breadwinner because the
that's
woman has,
the
if she
old
has to
times.
raise
We're in the new generation. If you don't get with the new generation, like it doesn't work.
the new generation is cooked, is what I'm trying to explain to you. Do you understand that? Like this, because it's the new generation doesn't mean that it's good. That's precisely why marriage rates are low. This is why divorce rates are high. This is why more women are reporting unhappiness than ever before.
Yeah, 'cause the men
Record
are
amount of
fucking
women are
dogs.
using SSRIs and
Men
using
expect us just to
antidepressant
have fat
medication.
ass, to look good, to have big every night, to do this, to do that. Like, that's what they expect. Like, if
Okay.
I didn't expect you to get it because your
No,
reasoning is
I do
very...
understand it. It's just that you don't understand is the problem. You're operating from a faulty premise that men and women are equal. I'm telling you that they're not. A man that's promiscuous is doing something right. A woman that's promiscuous is doing something wrong. We are not the same, okay? So since we are not the same, we're not the same standards, okay? This is why a woman can be 21 years old, be a bum, and still meet a millionaire, versus a man needs to have money and status and bring something to the table to be able to attract women. We are not the same. Women are born with value. Men must create value.
You're
What?
generalizing. If I was a rich woman, which I'm actually working for that right now, like, I would totally take in a man who doesn't have as much money. If I could provide, I would. You don't believe me?
Well, here's the thing. You might take him in for a period of time, but you're not going to take him seriously or date him long term. Women are not good provisioners.
If he can take care of my children for me, I would do it.
Yeah, okay.
Whilst I'm at work.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Like most women do not want winners for their husband where he's a stay-at-home dad. Never works out. And again, this is what I'm trying to say when I say biology almost always overrides social norms. Like, you're operating from this feminist egalitarian mindset of I could be a breadwinner and my man will take care of my kids. Realistically speaking, you're going to lose respect for him, you're going to lose attraction for him, and you're going to cheat on him. It's not going to work. It doesn't work when women behave like men or when men behave like women. We got to do it the other way. Put the women back in the have them taking care of the families, the men being the breadwinner and the decider, and that's what women are attracted to. This
At
is how
the
it's
end of the
worked
day,
all...
it's a question of point of view at the end of the day. Like, you must have had some bad experiences in your life to have this opinion. Like,
No.
it's strange.
Okay, you
It's
do
weird.
realize the society that we have now, right, was built upon the nuclear family. All the modern conventions that we have, all the industry that we made, it was made through the nuclear family. Now we're starting to go backwards because we've civilized the world so much where women think that they're equal to men. So we're going backwards. The society's actually getting worse because we civilized it so much thanks to feminism. That's what I'm trying to say. The society we have now was built upon the nuclear family.
But I just feel like it's just putting so much stress on men at the end of the day because all these men are like, okay, now I have to be...
Because we're superior to you guys, so we can handle it. That's my point.
You can't. They all are literally making less money than I am today. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm just saying, like, a woman can make just as much money as men.
Sure.
The poor men, stressed out, they have to pay for the dates, they have to pay for this, they have to pay for that. Poor men. They don't deserve that. Like,
You're okay.
But
Well,
women
look,
aren't
you're
hookers
missing the point. Look, women can make their money. What I'm saying is that women make money. It's not the same as when a man makes money. When a man makes money, he says, okay, I could take care of a girl and a family. When a woman makes money, what does she say? I'm independent. Ask yourself, independent of whom? Independent of a man. When women make money, they look at it like, I don't need a man anymore. When a man makes money, it's like, okay, now a woman can need me. We are not the same when we make money. This is why nobody gives a about a woman's career or her income, because it doesn't benefit us. If you were the guy, let me give you an example so you really understand this concept. Let's say you got with a guy that spent a significant amount of time on his clothes, his fashion, dressing well, spent more time than you did, right? And he was more handsome and prettier than you.
Okay.
Wouldn't that annoy you a little bit after a while?
I mean, I want my man to look good.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's taking it to the next level. He's spending more time at the hair salon than you. He's spending more money on his clothes than you. He has
But
a
like,
bigger
if
shoe
we're going
collection.
out, he will share with me.
No, I'm asking you, would you be okay with him putting so much emphasis onto his looks?
No, I actually don't mind. Like, do what you want, bro.
Okay,
like.
the answer is a no, because the
There's
reason
no
why
right
is
or
because
wrong answer.
yeah, you don't want to answer because you know the answer. The answer is a no, and the reason why is because he's behaving like a woman, which is unattractive. A woman chases her money and behaves
So
like
a
a man.
man's a
It's
woman
not
when he
attractive.
cares about his clothes and his looks. That's what you're saying.
You weren't listening to what I was saying.
You just said if the man takes more care of himself,
Yes.
he's not, but then we would be jealous and we would think he's feminine for doing that.
Yes, women are not attracted to feminine men.
I want my man to go to the hairdressers, to go to the nail salon. I want him to wear nice clothes. I want him to get a fucking pedicure. That's
Women don't like feminine men. See the OnlyFans?
Damn.
I'm not doing anything. A whore is a girl who does things with guys. I'm white.
He's on OnlyFans. This comedy.
Hate on me, but actually, at the end of the day, at least I'm making great money.
Damn.
That's fine.
Her whole argument just kind of fell apart now because I mean I kind of already knew that she was on OnlyFans, whatever, with this type of mindset that I will definitely I'm making more money than most men and all this stuff, and so she can have this mindset that, yeah, I would take care of a guy if he would stay home and watch my kids, as long as he puts up with me putting myself out there and advertising my body and myself to other men, which, you know, no self-respecting man would take that deal. So
Like I said before, you're not going to want to take care of a man that can't make money.
I can take care of a man right now. And
But
I
will
take
you?
care of them all day. They
And-
pay me.
And where are they? And here's the other thing too. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna be painfully honest with you. Sex workers can't demand monogamy or a higher status guy. Sorry.
It's a question of point of view again. Like, I feel like the OF is something
No
that...
guy that has a real reputation and gives a fuck about his name is gonna get with a girl that does OnlyFans. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
OF at the end of the day, he won't care.
Yes. Notice how you said you can get any guy, but can you keep any guy? That's the point.
Well, I'm young and I'm literally learning life. I can't actually answer that with my own, like, life experience yet.
All right.
But
Let me be blunt about this.
Go ahead.
You're gonna have a very difficult time finding a guy that you're actually attracted by,
because I
that's
actually
higher
have a
status, that's gonna take you
personality.
seriously, okay?
I have a great personality.
Again,
It's
let me
more.
finish what I'm saying. That's irrelevant. What I'm telling you is your work has disqualified you from a significant amount of men that are attractive, that are handsome, that have options. They're not gonna get with a sex worker, so you're gonna have to lower your standards.
I'm not
to
a
get with a
sex
more
worker.
average guy. Yes, you are. By being on OnlyFans, you are a sex worker. By definition, you're a sex worker. Guys.
Show me your tits.
No.
You got bigger ones.
Yo. Yeah, guys, relax, bro. Look, it's very simple. You're gonna have a hard time finding a guy that's gonna take you.
So she's delusional. She doesn't realize that, you know, being on OnlyFans is pretty much like it's gonna bar her from the guys that she wants. You know, she's only gonna get the simps who want to pay to spend time with her. So
You seriously based on your work. Women that are sex workers.
Do you have
struggle.
a wife? Do you have a girlfriend?
qualifying, she's trying to qualify his point of view now. It's a very common tactic.
That's what I thought. The fuck? Like,
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. Like, it just means like you can't even get it yourself. So like you are telling me I can't. Like, what's that? I don't get that.
Okay, who picks who gets sex, men or women?
Women can choose if they want to do it or not.
Yes, perfect.
So-
So would it be fair to say women control sex?
Yes.
Okay, who decides if a woman gets married?
Well, the man does it, but the girl says. So
Okay.
she can say no. in a
No.
second.
The point I'm trying to make is that women control access to sex, men control access to relationships. So it's your job as the woman to get the guy to get down on one knee and marry you. So you sitting there saying, "Are you in a relationship?"
Hank Russell has entered the chat in the last 15 minutes. How you doing, sir? A guy can't sell on OnlyFans by showing his feet. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. It's like some men, they have very dainty feet, so they don't have to say that they're men. They can just, like, you know, appear to be women and stuff. Or, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Definitely coming on with like manly feet is definitely not gonna sell. I don't know anybody that would how successful that would be. But yeah, dude, it's like it's an access to a world of easy money that women have that men just don't have, you know? I mean, unless you're a gay man, sure, you're going to have a gay audience and stuff like that. But in terms of, you know, even in that stratosphere of money, it's not even close to what an average female could make. So Hank came back. He says, she clearly is not familiar with logical fallacies. Well, you know, she's young. She's very young, and she's she has access to a lot of money, so she's kind of insulated in terms of worldviews and realities, harsh realities, because, you know, she has such an easy lifestyle, you know. And that's the thing, you know, I would say, especially Caucasian women as a whole, they live complete separate lives from all men, and it is definitely in the West, they have access to a lot of resources, and it just comes easy to them. So her having a stance on, you know, finding a relationship or whatever like that, yeah, I'm sure she can find a simp that would want to marry her. Of course. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of men that would line up and marry her if she was just like, I want to get married, you know, by this date or whatever. I want to get it before I turn, you know, 25 or 30 or something like that. She could put that out, and I'm sure she would just be flooded with messages of men that would like want to do it. But it's not going to be any man that she's going to want, or that she's going to, you know, find attractive. You know, it's just going to be people that are in her chat that have been simping for her. So, and ultimately women don't want simps. They want men that they can respect. So, but that's the thing, you know, that's the illusion of options by, you know, having a huge audience of men that are simping for you. You think that those men are possibilities, like potential relationships, when really, no, they're just your supporters, man. And I think the sooner that she gets that, I'm sure there's a lot of women that do get that, but I mean, as soon as she gets that, she'll understand that, yeah, she's made a huge mistake. You know, she traded comfort and money and security for, you know, the possibility of a family, you know, and children. I mean, yeah, she could always get artificially inseminated, you know, she could always, you know, just pick a simp, whatever, off the tree if she wants. But in terms of a normal life, you know, and being with a man who like actually respects her and doesn't actually simp for her, you know, I think that's off the table for her.
That has nothing to do with anything. That's like me asking you, are you having sex at all?
I just don't understand how you could say that just because I do OF, like people might think that like I can't get a man.
You're a sex worker, which means you're not going to be able to attract and retain a higher status guy because your job is embarrassing to him.
But
Common
I'm not going to
sense.
do it forever.
It doesn't matter. You're cool.
Doesn't matter. Your videos are forever. Your images on Google and possibly on Reddit are forever. So I mean, it's over, man. You're cooked.
Guys, I have a whole plan behind it. It's not just OF.
Oh, she's the one girl that's on OF that has a plan. All these other girls, they're just flying by the seat of their pants. Okay, this is a smart one we're dealing with here.
You can have your plan.
I can't speak on it. I've got a lot of going on right now.
You can have your plan, but what
I have
I'm telling you is,
plan behind it. It's
let's
not
say you
doing
leave.
it.
Let's say you stop OnlyFans and you get with a guy, and he finds out that you did OnlyFans 5 years later. He's gonna have serious concerns about taking you seriously.
I will tell him.
And he will leave. He will leave as soon as you tell him.
Hold on. Why won't you tell him?
Why would I tell him?
No, why won't you tell him?
Why won't I tell him? I just told you I would tell him.
No, you just said you won't. You just said you won't ask. You won't tell him.
I just said I would tell him.
No, you said you won't tell him.
But I just said I would tell him.
Oh, now you're saying you would.
We're
Okay.
not fucking. I just said that. I just said that. I just said I would tell him, and he would be okay with that because he would love me for me, not for anything else I do. Well, I don't know. I just don't really agree.
Look, you're just delusional. I'm sorry. Women that do sex work get disqualified by a majority of men that have any type of real status.
That's fine. That's why there are so many in this world.
What?
There are so many men in this world. If a few disqualify, that's fine. I wouldn't want them anyways.
Yeah, there's a lot of men, but women only want a small percentage of them, which is precisely my point.
Not particularly. I don't want a small percentage of men. Like, there are some who would
Do you have high standards?
Not particularly, no. I don't.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that's it, man. There you go. She doesn't have high standards, so maybe she will. Maybe she will pick a simp off the tree when time for her plan to enact her plan is ready. Maybe that is the end game for her. So maybe she'll be all right.
I don't even care if he looks great or what. I don't care.
So you'll take anything?
Pardon?
You'll take anything then?
I don't take anything.
No, I said you'll take any guy, or do you have high standards?
I don't have high standards. I just know what I like, and when I see it and when we get on, like, I'm not going to look at a guy and be like, oh, you're disqualified. No, I'll look at him, we'll talk, we'll chat, and then I'll know. I don't even know. I don't know money. I'm just living my own life, making money as I'm doing it. Like, I'm only literally 18. I'm 18.
Okay. Well, I mean, there you have it, guys. I mean, she has so much more life to live, so much more experience, and so much knowledge to gain. And she's only 18. So, which means she's probably in the first couple months of her OnlyFans. So yeah, she's making tons and tons of money, and it's ruining her future. And it's it. She doesn't see the disaster that's coming because it has, I mean, she still has a lot of time, and it doesn't matter if she takes all of that money and does something with it, invests it, do something like that. Those videos and photos and all that stuff is all going to be forever online. And it's unfortunate, man. They don't see the end result. They're only looking at the instant result, the instant gratification, the fast money, not the slow consequences.
Cooked.
Okay.
All right.
Well, anyways, it's okay, whatever. But thank you.
Yep.
YOLO.
I
Sheesh.
just don't agree with you.
You don't have to agree with reality, but I'm telling you the reality.
Yeah, you can live in delusion.
Women that do sex work are not going to get wifed up by higher status men. It is what it is. And OnlyFans is sex work. It's the ugly truth, man.
All right, guys. Well, that is what I got for you guys tonight. I mean, I know I said I was going to pivot away from Fresh and Fit, but there was just some things that I saw recently that I was like, man, we got to look at this, man, because it's funny to see how just the content is shifting away from Myron and Fresh working together to Myron just doing these IRL streams, Fresh doing whatever he's doing. I mean, I didn't even want to like see what he was doing, but I'm glad Sonic came in the chat to let us know that he's doing over 1,300 viewers on his live stream. That's great. I mean, in terms of numbers and stuff, I'm pretty sure a lot of it's bots, so I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, other than that, as far as what's coming up for the channel, I do have a video I'm working on, kind of in the same vein of the movie, TV show, rant, critical analysis type video. I don't want to say what it is right now, but I am in the process of putting it together. It's taking me a little bit longer. But just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, me and Sonic hopefully will be getting a debate going on in terms of whatever he chooses. I'm going to let him choose the topic, and I will prepare. And yeah, whether it's going to be about YouTube ads, Fresh, or whatever, we'll figure it out, and you guys just stay tuned to that. I do want to thank everybody who came out to the live stream tonight. Thank you so much. Hank Russell, Sonic, K5, Coke Benny. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I don't know if I missed anybody. I probably did. If I did, I apologize. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the next one. You guys take care. Peace.
Watching it end again and again. I feel it in waves, you follow me, drifting to places I should leave. So close to the edge of something so perfect. We were too scared to take the leap. I'm missing